I didn't want my family to miss out
on a piece of America that's valued today
and will be even more meaningful tomorrow.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
We've taken a plate and put it underneath Brett Favre's nutsack. And then, Brett, what do?
I pull my out.
And we harvest his pubes for you.
Every pube is numbered with its own individual.
And a certificate of pube authenticity.
The seller says the brother didn't put the pubes up for sale sooner because he, quote, sucks at computers.
Has its own certificate
the
of
Franklin
authenticity.
Mint first had to send an idiot to computer school for 3 years before we could get you this incredible deal on Brett Favre's pubes.
They're a value I can pass on. That's too good to pass up.
This is a solid, all-American value.
Less than 1% of Americans will ever own this complete collection. Will you be one of them?
It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Good morning. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. FreeBeerandHotWings.com is our website. A lot of new posts up yesterday, including the talk that we had with Dominic Monaghan from Lost fame, also Lord of the Rings. Talked to him for about 15 minutes yesterday about his latest venture on the BBC, Wild Things with Dominic Monaghan. If you missed that, you can listen to that right at FreeBeerandHotWings.com. Also, the video of the woman with the world's biggest hips. You need to see that one. She's got like a 40-inch waist, but her hips are closer to 100 inches. That's right at FreeBeerandHotWings.com as well. The flashback comes up later on this hour. Also, we're going to look at GQ's list of the hottest women of the new millennium that came out last week. Start off the hour, though, with a little cooking with Honey Boo Boo's mom.
Honey Boo Boo's mom has a new cookbook coming out. Or maybe it is out. I guess I'm going to be honest with you. I don't pay a lot of attention to her publications.
What a face. My God. It's like a big toe.
It is.
My God.
Apparently, to her credit, they're saving a lot of the money that they're earning from that show. Well, okay. By the way, the first season is good money. Don't get me wrong. Everybody would take it, but not a ton of money. TLC got them on the cheap.
How cheap?
The Loser Channel. I think $40,000 an episode. That's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
How many? It was like 20 episodes.
I'm not sure how many there were.
Yeah,
but it's not. We're going to retire money. But to their credit, she said they're saving it for the kids' college funds and everything else. Okay. We'll see how normal they say. But she's talking about her cookbook. In this clip.
Mama, you want to help Mama cook? Normally we have a family meal a couple times of the week just to sit down and actually take some time out and see how everything's like going within the house. Honey, you put the butter on.
You gonna help me?
I like to just start throwing things in a pot.
Okay, they have to put subtitles because she's hard to understand.
Gets in the way.
Mm-hmm. Got the big old vat of country crock.
Yeah, at least she's using margarine.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Start throwing things in a pot, and we call that multi-meals. We just throw whatever you have available in the cabinets in a bowl, and I use the girls and everybody as kind of guinea pigs to see if it's going to taste good.
Thank you, guinea pig.
You've had plenty of meals that I've thrown in a bowl.
What is that? Is that a daughter that has a baby?
Yes. That's the baby that was born with 2 thumbs, and no one was surprised on one hand.
Wait.
So 3 altogether, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was a lie the internet made up, but Joe, you saw the pictures, didn't you?
Yes.
Is it like an ancestral birth defect?
Well, yeah. That's what everyone said. Joe, you can't say yes like that's a determined truth. Zane said, is it an ancestral birth defect? Your answer was yes.
Sorry.
You can't do that.
Allegedly, it's a fact that it is.
How old is the daughter? Probably like about 15? She's got to be.
I thought she was high school aged, but I don't know if that.
Yeah,
either way.
15, 16. Well, she's wearing makeup, so I think she's 12.
Look at this painting on the wall of boots.
Yeah, it's a painting of boots.
Is that a Warhol? I think it is.
It's like a pair of dirty work boots were painted and put on the wall.
There was one time I didn't eat because it looked like throw up. Remember that time?
Man. You know your family's stupid.
Your hands are your best utensils.
When that music is played.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder if they watch the show and they feel good about themselves. Why is this
Joe?
Why is
I'm not looking at you. I'm assuming you have
music
liquid in your mouth when you're laughing that hard. You do.
Yeah, the only thing missing from this dopey music is a good oboe or bassoon.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like when they make these things, they lift the music. Sometimes they'll make an original score, but if they do an original score, it'll be taken from a scorebook called Music to Denote Retardation. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. And or it's just lifted off a CD called Retard Music.
Mm-hmm.
It's a multi-meal. I'm sure other families do it. Just put everything in a bowl, and I don't have to worry about putting the sides all over the plate. You just put them all in together.
Okay, now she's taken a whole lot of chicken,
Joe,
and thrown it into a tin, and then loaded it with barbecue sauce, and now she's combining it, mixing it with her hands.
Friday morning, we may have to make you a honey boo boo meal.
Oh no,
Joe's honey boo boo breakfast.
I don't want to make that meal.
It was called vending blending.
Yeah,
just anything we could afford.
I think they added a few sound effects. I think they added a few.
Unless they buried a microphone in that slop.
A corporation of the meat, the side, the sauce. It's a multi-meal. I'm all about making easy meals. Thanksgiving will be like the mega multi-meal. Because you never know what I'm going to throw in the bowl. Is it pretty good? Alana! I really don't know how to prep a turkey. I really don't know what I'm doing, Alana, here, so we're just going to wing this. And you have to take the neck, the gift.
You gotta read the label. Seriously, any moron can prepare a turkey.
Yeah, I've made a turkey, and I'm the baseline.
There's all that out, that pack out. Oh! The neck. I rained a chicken neck. All right, now I need a butter. Just like all my other recipes, butter and sugar makes everything.
Is there a man of the house?
Yes. There is.
Okay.
I don't think he's much use.
No.
Everything tastes better.
What? Can I help you put it on?
Yep. Alana, what are we going to name this turkey?
Billy Bob.
Billy Bob? Why is that?
Because I love Billy's.
Stop playing the butter!
The kid's actually playing in butter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Take this. Hand me a spoonful of butter. I'm going to show you. Once. Mm-hmm. And we got to give him a nice massage. We got to have a lot of butter.
She did say so. You can't.
Oh, my gosh.
It is a lot of butter. Now, technically, she is right. Everything is better with butter and sugar. You can't deny the truth of that. This is not a woman who's trying to get a Nutrisystems endorsement.
She is everything that is wrong with everything that I saw when we were in Orlando. One of the things I did was paid attention to the English-speaking people, and there weren't many. At SeaWorld, most of the clientele walking through the park are foreigners.
Really?
Spanish, Italian, French, Portuguese. And the foreign-speaking people typically were thin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And more times than I needed to see, English-speaking people, natives to this land, looked like her. Unbelievable. It was an incredible mix. There weren't many of them, though. SeaWorld doesn't attract people like her for some reason.
No, they're all at Disney World. That's my theory.
Apparently, man.
Yeah. Breaking the teacups.
More butter, more butter.
Bubble of butter right there.
I can't.
God, it's actually just disgusting. The idea of eating this bird after she's pawed all over it with her ham hocks.
I cannot take it anymore. Look at that. Look at her. You're driving me crazy. She actually looks. The fat pulling down on her face actually makes her look stupid.
Joe, I haven't seen Goonies since it came out on VCR. Sloth. In my mind, if you were to get me a photo of Sloth side by side, and maybe the internet has already suggested this. I'm not out in front of anything.
No, you know what the internet has suggested? She looks like Krang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one photo where her daughter has the same colored dress, so it looks like her daughter's the Krang brain.
Yeah. Yeah, she does look like...
Joe
She does look like Krang.
Krang. I learned about Krang on this show, man.
Me too.
I didn't know anything about that. That was the bad guy in the Turtles cartoon?
Yes. Yeah, she really does.
Oh, my God.
That's a good point.
Oh, man.
What a bummer. But that's how it goes.
Okay, here, well, this is what Joe was just looking at. Give me a second here. I always love it when he sends these little separated. Oh, my God. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Jeez. That is incredible. She does look like Krang. Both of them together like that.
That's pretty sad. If Krang were real, his feelings would be super hurt. He'd be sad.
So is Krang the whole thing, or is it just the guy in the middle?
It's the brain, yeah.
The brain is Krang.
Is the big Goliath hulky guy? Is he like
That's just a robot. It's controlled by Krang.
Okay. The mom is a robot. Jesus.
Look at those arms.
On which one, the cartoon or the lady?
I can't.
I know the arms are.
It is such an unbelievable comparison. It is so apt. Look at that.
The only thing missing are the sunglasses and the metal armor shoulder pads.
Not by much.
But the dress is similar. So.
Yeah, the dress is pretty similar, yeah.
If you want to cook along with Honey Boo Boo's mom, you can still see that video up at freebeerandhotwings.com. Coming up in the next segment, GQ released a list of what they say are the hottest women of the...
Check out the show on Facebook and Twitter. Do it at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Flashback comes up in the next segment. Why would Bob Barker be on Monday Night Raw? Those two seem like they don't really mesh well together. So that comes up next. But right here, GQ's list of the hottest women of the millennium, the new millennium.
Guys, it's just in the nick of time. With just 87 years to go, GQ has come out with the hottest women of the 21st century list.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's cool. That makes sense.
You don't want to wait until the last second.
No, that'd be dumb, man.
So
could end any time. You got to have your list out.
2013, and they've done this list.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they just say the hottest? Well, I guess we're well into the second decade. So at about the end of 10 years, they could have said the hottest woman of the decade. But now they're naming it this.
Yes.
Decade plus 3.
Yeah. Or even just so far.
Some hot chicks. These are attractive women.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is stupid. I guess when magazine subscriptions continue to dwindle, you have to have a reason to put chicks in your magazine.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's the only draw you have.
Should we ogle them like Brent Musburger?
Wow. Well,
yes. Hey, learn to throw the football around at Alabama. Still can't believe how much of a big deal that was.
That they apologized on his behalf.
Has there been any statement by Brent?
He has declined all invitations to speak about it.
Well done.
Yeah.
Be quiet. He's pissed.
I bet he is. I really think he probably is, because they made him look like a creeper, I think, by what they did. She forgave him. She said there was no need for an apology. By the way, that has gone great for her. She's going to be in Sports Illustrated. Yeah. She's doing all sorts of other modeling. I mean, she was already, pretty successful and gorgeous, so it's not like she had an uphill battle.
What's her name again?
But that is Catherine Webb.
She's doing an ad for the Super Bowl, too, I think. I just read.
Yeah.
They got to do one with Musburger. Now that would be funny.
That would be great. That would be really smart.
I don't know what network carries the Super Bowl this year, but I'm
not sure
that would torque off his bosses, and to me that would be great for him.
That would be really cool.
All right, Jesus, those eyes. That's the second hottest set of eyes I've ever seen. I mean, seriously, they're like icy.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell do they do that?
That is her second most impressive pair of something.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Yeah.
She's excellent at things. She tweeted a photo yesterday of at the end of like 2 aisles at like a book and magazine store, like a Barnes & Noble. On one, they had a cardboard stand of magazines from Sports Illustrated with Alabama, where it said Tide Rule. Play on Roll Tide, and then the stack next to it, in a similar cardboard cutout, was a magazine that had her on the cover.
Okay. She's one of those anger mads. She's so good looking you get angry.
Yeah.
It makes me mad how attractive you are. Stupid. Good looking.
Like if you saw her in the airport, you're saying you'd want to knock the food out of her hand.
No, I'd just be pissed. I'd just be like, makes me. She's so hot, I'm mad.
She's eating a Sbarro, and you go up and go, oops! Why did you do that? Because you're super hot. Pick it up.
No. I wouldn't. Taking it to the aggressive out on her notion is not part of the game plan.
You would knock the pizza out of a fat girl's hand.
No, I wouldn't knock anything out of anyone's hand. I wouldn't. Stop doing that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying.
All right. Are you ready for the hottest women of the 21st century?
It's her. She's got to be
13% of the way through the century. It's time.
She has to be one of them. Okay, and if she isn't, she gets honorable mention in this show.
Yeah, she's amongst them. They list the Jessicas. Jessica Simpson, Jessica Biel.
Wait,
Jessica Alba.
Simpson?
Jessica Perret? I don't remember Jessica Perret.
Now, Jessica Alba is still a babe.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just pretty. She's always been pretty, and she always will be until it really falls apart, which is probably a long ways off for her.
But, I mean,
Jessica Simpson.
She was super hot.
But she's been I don't know, to me.
She's not ugly now.
It's not
she
that
didn't
she
get ugly.
Yeah,
she got pregnant.
It's not that she's
ugly.
It's not that she's ugly. I think for me, part of the reason why she's less attractive is because now we've heard her speak for years. And her stupidity is not charming or cute to me.
Well, that may be
and
true.
She also got kind of ugly. I mean, come on. Regardless of, even when she wasn't pregnant, do you remember when she was performing on stage and she was wearing those crazy mom jeans and everything?
Yeah, that's one night.
I don't care.
It didn't transform her into an ugly person. She had bad clothing.
No,
Joe, you say she's ugly.
I do.
You got to understand that we're talking about a 13-year span here. So there were several good years that you might think otherwise.
No, that's why she deserves a spot on the list.
But right now, you're saying.
Yeah, right now, I mean.
Way more offensive than what Brent Musburger did.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm looking at several of her images, and she looks incredibly great to me. I don't know.
Now type Jessica Simpson ugly.
Are you telling me that it's just going to be a disaster? Every picture?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I assume it will.
No.
There's most of them. She still looks really good. A couple of them. They
try
got
fat.
She had a baby.
Well, yeah,
but even before she had a baby, she eats her sadness away.
She engages in what is known as ice cream comfort.
Oh, jeez, here we go.
Dude, ugly pulls up some really bad images.
That's not real.
This one, Joe probably thinks this one's real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that seems very unfair to her. But nonetheless, she's on the list. Congratulations. You're amongst the hottest women of the first 13% of this century. Katie Holmes is on the list. How about that one? Is she one of the hottest women of the first 13 years of this?
No.
Because,
to me, Katie Holmes there's definitely a cuteness there. She is cute. But to me, there's a big difference between, cute and hot.
How about Britney Spears?
Yeah.
Yeah. Early on. And then there was those middle years that were terrible.
I mean, by the same standards, by your standards, she got ugly.
I always thought Britney Spears was better looking than Jessica Simpson. For me.
Even when she was bald and walking around barefoot in bathrooms?
No, she didn't look too good
stations?
then. She didn't look that good then. But Jessica Simpson went through her ugly spell, too. With more hair.
Boy, she was really smoking.
She was...
I mean, seriously.
She was hot.
How old is she now? She even 30?
No, yeah,
20,
I believe so, isn't she?
I have no idea.
I think she's 30 now.
Yeah, ballpark of. Not that means anything. Jeez.
She's been on the scene for a long time.
Halle Berry. Yes.
Yeah, she's still.
Yeah, she still looks really good.
She still looks really good.
The next one, I have no doubt this one will not be well received. Hillary Clinton.
What?
Of course
come
not.
on.
That's ridiculous.
Who put that on the list?
GQ, because they wanted people to look at it.
Oh, come on, man.
That's not even.
That's not.
It's not even fair.
No.
Okay, well, maybe there's a couple pictures of her hot.
Maybe there's a lesbian.
there's not.
You just had a picture of Jessica Simpson's mom pants. They're hotter than Hillary Clinton nude.
There are hundreds of men in their 30s who would be described as hotter by other men than Hillary Clinton.
When she was young, she was really pretty.
But that was not
Isn't
this
that crazy?
century.
I know that. But isn't that, I'm just saying as a side note to this
conversation. She's really yeah, down here she looks pretty good, I guess.
Yeah,
That one, I don't think
picture.
she looks good.
Yeah. And it's not a great camera angle. Up her nose.
Oh, look at this one.
It didn't last very long,
She's
though.
all business here.
Because when you see those photos, you ever see those photos of her when she's dating Bill?
Yeah, she was pure nerd.
Oh, man. I mean, she had the big, nasty glasses, and she was like everything that was wrong with the 60s.
Look at this one. Oof, like she's pinching one out.
If you do a Google search, a Google Images search for Hillary Clinton, there's one where she's wearing a very patriotic bikini. It's definitely real. It's definitely not
is
fake.
It this one right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely real. Also on the list, Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's good still.
Yeah, I mean, she...
Shakira.
Yeah, she's
is that,
she's a babe.
The lady who did the
soccer song?
Yeah.
Soccer song?
Yeah. Her hips don't lie.
She's always shaking her ass, huh?
Yeah, she's really good at it. They say the Blue Chicks. That's a category that includes Rebecca Romaine and Jennifer Lawrence, who both played Mystique in the X-Men movies, and also Zoe Saldana from Avatar. And then they also included Smurfette. How can we take your stupid
we
list
can't take this
seriously?
We can't take this seriously. You're right.
Connie Britton. I don't remember who that is.
She was on Spin City, and then she was on Friday Night Lights for a long time, and now she's in that show Nashville.
Is this Connie Britton?
Yeah.
And this is Connie. This lady here?
Yeah.
Really? There was a time she was attractive? Because here she doesn't look too odd to me.
Yeah, I think she is. Well, she's not in that picture, but I do think she's pretty. But she's, she's in her mid 40s now. But in the Spin City years, early 2000s and stuff.
Okay.
When you take away 12 years of aging, and she was 31 or 32.
True, but boy, age has been rough on her.
Right now, her
I think
face
she looks good for 45.
in all of these photos looks like someone just made a plaster cast of her face and took it off, and it's all blotchy and weird.
This is quite a downgrade. I mean, seriously. Look at that.
Next on the list is Sarah Silverman, whom Joe said was no longer funny because he saw her nude in a movie after we interviewed Mr. Skin.
That stands true.
She's not hot in any way.
Christina Hendricks from Mad Men.
Yeah.
Hold on. Silverman.
She is not hot.
She was only ever hot by female comedian standards.
Yes.
I think she's really funny.
And then even then she got passed up by that newest
Whitney Cummings.
No, the other one who's really mean. She was on the roast. Not Whitney Cummings.
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer has
Lisa Lampanelli.
Amy Schumer is a million times hotter than Sarah Silverman.
Amy
and Sarah
Schumer's
Silverman,
hot.
when she did those nude photos, I remember looking at those and you go, her body is proportionally strange.
Think about Schumer, though.
Strange about it. It's not. I don't know if her torso's too short or what.
Just a tad too close on the eyes for Schumer.
Yeah, I don't think Schumer's that.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm actually surprised at your statement, Hot Wings, being as particular as you are about.
Oh, I don't think she's like a super hot babe. I just mean compared to Sarah Silverman, she's a million times hotter.
But
if you're going to go with comedians,
isn't that crazy how sometimes you'll run into a person and you know it when you see it, when the eyes are just a smidge too close or a smidge too far apart.
Yes.
That is her. Wow, that is something. I mean, we're talking half an inch, and that's noticeable.
We had her on and said, Amy, do you regret your eyes are so close together?
Have you ever noticed how close your eyes are together?
No, we wouldn't do that. No, we wouldn't do that. Kim Kardashian's on the list, of course. Marissa Tomei, Kate Upton, and a whole bunch more.
Upton, yeah, she is, and she's fun too. She seems to always be smiling and having a good time.
Tony Danza is mad at her because he sat next to her on a plane and barfed, and he said he had motion sickness.
Wait, what?
And she said he was hungover and bombed.
Oh, damn.
I believe the hot chick. Mm-hmm. Who do you believe, the hot chick or the washed-up guy?
He's just. I wonder if she even knew who he was.
Yeah.
Someone had to explain it to her because she's very young and he's very old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. He hasn't done anything. The last time he did something relevant, she was in kindergarten.
You can still see that list posted in the links section at Free Beer and Hot Wings.
Now, back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
In the flashback today, why was Bob Barker on Monday Night Raw?
Bob Barker end up on Monday Night Raw. And Zane, you watch Raw because your daughter watches Raw.
Yeah.
You don't tune in.
That's what I tell everybody.
You're kind of starting to like it, aren't you? But
no.
How long have they been having this guest host where they have some celebrity? Because the first time I saw it was when Shaquille O'Neal did it.
Yeah, well, it's been going on pretty much all summer. You know, you've had basically people who have been fans of wrestling.
They get people to do it that I wouldn't have ever thought would have done it. And this probably is the best example. Bob Barker.
Yeah.
Former host of Price is Right.
Wow.
How old is he now?
Oh, boy, I don't know. He's getting on.
Yeah, God.
He's got to be in his 80s.
But he shows up, and he did a impromptu version of The Price is Right. What do they call it? The initial
Showcase
bid.
Showdown? Or no,
when you first bid.
It's on Contestants Row there.
Yeah, they have their own Contestants Row, and they have various wrestlers show up, and all I recall is IRS, Erwin R. Shyster was wheeled in. Is that Mike Rotunda?
Yeah. Yep.
They wheeled him out for this thing, and a couple other wrestlers who I forget who they are, and Chris Jericho. Now, he has become one of the most transparent heels I think I've ever seen. I mean, everybody hates him because the audience does what they're told.
I was going to say, they hate him because they're supposed to hate him, it seems like.
And he's real condescending and arrogant, and he's there on Contestants Row, and Bob Barker is playing the bidding game for a SmackDown DVD. All you have to do is make your bid.
Yeah.
And all the other bidders have bid very high, so you see it coming. Jericho's going to be the one who didn't go over. And Jericho actually has a name tag on his chest, bare chest, and it's and so he walks up there. They all look preposterous.
It's kind of funny.
It is. It's stupidly funny. And there's Bob Barker playing the game. Well, of course, Jericho's got a problem with Barker, and all the lemmings are enjoying this. And we pick it up at that point.
Chris, are you awake?
He's
in a hypnotic state down there.
Chris won't make a bid. He doesn't want to bid. Okay?
Because he thinks it's stupid, or
I don't know.
Somebody
Give
make
me your
fun
bid.
of him?
Give me your bid.
Uh-oh, he's headed this way.
Well, here he comes. He's got to try to intimidate Bob Barker.
It's down there that you bid.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Chris, I want your bid. I need the fourth bid to go on here.
Now, it's funny because
What do you
Barker's
have to say?
really old, but Jericho's really tiny, and so Barker looks like he could probably at least get a couple punches in before Jericho's youth would overwhelm him.
What do you bid? Chris,
I think
your
Barker's...
mother would not be proud of you the way you're behaving. You do know that.
Okay, now they're face to face. Chris Jericho is face to face with old man Barker.
85-year-old Bob Barker.
Is he 85?
85, yeah.
First of all, nobody. Wait. The man talks. He's actually speaking. What did you say?
Zing.
Please.
Uh-oh.
He's pouting.
He's pouting.
I told him that his mother would...
We got to lift that for the next time Freebird says he's fussy.
Yeah.
When he admits to being fussy.
Yeah.
Hold on. He's pouting.
Barker going, hold on, he's pouting. He's pouting.
It'd probably be worth making an entire compilation of things like that.
Not be proud. He's being naughty, don't you think? Yes.
You watch your mouth, Barker.
Uh-oh.
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Let me explain something to you, old man.
Go right ahead.
Nobody calls me Chris.
No, what do they call you?
You need to show me
I
respect.
want Barker to dip his hand into his diaper and pull some poo out and wipe it right on his face.
Yeah.
I'm respectfully asking for your bid.
Just punch him right in the mouth.
And he's wearing a name tag that says
Don't
Chris
boo,
on it.
I think it encourages him.
You need to call me Mr. Jericho.
Ooh. I do.
Yes, you do. You need to pander to me and show me respect.
Why?
Because I am the best in the world at what I do.
That's debatable, I'm sure. I'm sure the audience would agree.
And I am one half.
One. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
I heard the number one. That's your bid.
No.
One. Get off the stage.
It's a switcheroo. Oh, my God, he's incredulous. He can't believe it.
That is your bid. Get down there.
That's not my bid. No, he's whining.
A minute ago, he was going to punch Bob Barker in the face for not calling him Chris, but now on the switcheroo, he has no retort because Barker has bested him in a battle of wits. What is Mr. Jericho to do?
I'm mad that you didn't call me Mr. Jericho, but I'm even sadder that that's not a bid I wanted.
The price is wrong, bitch.
All right.
Pick up your name tag now and be a good boy. I'm going to have to take you over my knee. Get down there. His bid is $1. He's pouting.
So Bob Barker, what are you doing, Bob?
Oh, stupid.
Oh my gosh.
That show, man. Gosh.
It really is bad. They showed a clip on The Soup this weekend for Joel McHale, and they started out by setting it up. Monday Night Raw is one of the most watched television shows on all of cable television.
Yeah.
How do we copy that success? Apparently we need to have a midget wrestle a man in a cow costume. Did you see this last week, Zane?
No, I didn't see that.
They then went on to show highlights of a little person, dwarf, whatever, wrestling someone in a legitimate cow costume, like Chick-fil-A costume.
I didn't see that one.
Like mascot waving on the side of the road trying to get you to eat more chicken or something like that. And it was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Dude,
and that's really saying something.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it's just, I can't believe that people think that this is just the greatest thing ever. It's so dumb. I go there just to get other people pissed off. Just to piss them off. And they get so mad at me, man. Jeff Hardy, like I said, he is everybody's favorite son. And he took some time off, so he's gone for the next couple of months. And I was rooting against him on purpose just because there was this 50-year-old lady next to me who was so into Jeff Hardy. She called me an S-head and an a-hole and told me to eat S in front of everybody at this event because I was rooting for whatever idiot he was wrestling against just to piss her off.
To me, that would be like going to a play and rooting for one of the characters and booing when something bad happened. It's the same sort of thing.
Okay. This makes sense now. You must be referring to Hornswoggle versus Chavo Guerrero. Because Joe just sent me some info that is exactly what happened. Hornswoggle is the supposed son of Finley. That's that old-ass looking Irish guy who walks in with that stupid shillelagh.
Oh, yeah, that's his gimmick.
That's his thing.
Hey, your gimmick's Irish. Good one.
Yeah,
you are scraping the bottom of the barrel of the interesting gimmicks thing.
That was Chavo Guerrero and Hornswoggle got into a stupid-ass.
No, I don't know why. He's wearing a cow costume.
Because it's wrestling and it's stupid.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he be wearing a cow costume?
Fast forward here, see some of the great wrestling action that takes place on WWE.
Gosh, so that's right. They're tied together by a rope. And it's a midget against a guy in a cow costume.
Complete with head.
Mm-hmm.
So dumb.
I thought he was going to count to them.
God, it's so not
Seriously.
Wow, that. I mean, I can immediately see why 10-year-olds are entertained by this.
Right? Yeah, it's for kids only. Yeah, little kids. Man,
if you're over 17 though and like wrestling, like and really like it. I don't mean like you just kind of enjoy it like I would like a Godzilla movie, but like you're into it.
Yeah,
and your brain is broken.
Okay, now
I just want you to know that.
There's a funny thing that took place years ago. We used to work for a guy who was way into wrestling. I mean, really crazy into wrestling.
As an adult, obviously, because we worked for him.
Yep, and he was the program director, and he's one of these program directors who has never been on mornings, but felt that he knew more about it than us, and we would have to have these little pep talks every single day about every single moment on the show. And we'd start the meeting in his cramped office, which I think used to be a cooler for a flower shop, refitted to be his office, no chairs. We sit on the floor with our heads just above his desk, or at least I'd have to, because there'd only be 2 chairs, so I'd always draw the short straw. It was real uncomfortable. And we'd sit there, and he'd open up his notepad, and there'd be notes about things that went wrong or things that he thought should be changed. And he would just recite them, and it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal, guys. It's just little nitpicking things. I think Free Beer could have used word economy here. I think Hot Wings could have minimized a couple sentences, and if you'd have done that 37 times in the show, we could have played an extra 2-minute song, and that would have improved the audience 1,000%. And we're all looking.
Remember this one? Free Beer. I don't like it when you say, here's the deal, because it makes the audience think that you are trying to sell them something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what?
He actually one time cornered me and said, you're starting to sound like a buffoon. What? Yeah. You see, we did a perceptual. That's where they like take the audience's kind of like their opinion of how the show is. And it says here, your fun thermometer is at an all-time low. And this is Free Beer and Hot Wings fun thermometer. Your fun thermometer is low. We got to get your fun thermometer up in the 80, 90 degree range. You're down about 60% on the fun thermometer. And I went, what? I'm going to kick you in your stupid fat head. And then one day we sat down for some meeting. He goes, well, boys, tango, there's a lot you covered in the show today, and I'm really happy with that. But you missed the one important thing. Can you guess? What is it?
What did we miss? What did we miss, boys?
And we're like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Because he referred to it as the thing everybody will be talking about today.
This
and
is
we're
what
like,
everybody will be talking about.
Take a little pride in making sure that we're kind of, fingers on that button. We do occasionally miss stuff.
You did pretty good, but you missed the biggest story.
The biggest thing was obvious.
Everything everyone's talking about.
Well, I don't know. What was it, dude? You can't guess. No, we can't guess, okay? You got us. What is it? Eric Bischoff returned to wrestling on Raw last night. Gotcha. Yazoo.
I believe my response was, well,
we don't watch
wrestling. I don't know that everybody watches wrestling, but even if so, that happened at like 9:45, and if I'm going to be at all remotely fresh for the show the next morning, I need to go to bed before that. I know it, but sometimes you need to sacrifice for the good of the show.
Shut up.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Go eat a pizza.
It's like, no.
Morbidly obese a-hole.
Thank you so much for saying what needed to be said.
Him returning to wrestling would be like us saying, hey, did you see last night? A character from 2 years ago was back on The New Adventures of Old Christine.
Wow.
Whoa. Wow.
Bitch. Look out.
Can you believe it?
You can go to freebeerandhotwings.com. I believe the video of the airplane doing the close flyby is sustained today. You can check that out. Lots of new other stuff up there.
Made it.
As well.
Made the purge.
And lots of good stuff going up as the day goes on. Make sure you check it out.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
The discussion was really, crude, disgusting. Why can't they get some nice music on?
With free beer.
He's smart.
Hot Wings.
He's fun.
Eric Zane.
He's got a sense of humor.
Producer Joe.
He's got standards, believe it or not.
And Steve.
Anyone with a voice that deep has got to have a big dog.
It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Oh, my. This discussion is really coarse.
It's Thursday. The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. Joe is here. Steve is here. The two producers. You can jump in now or later. 1-800-947-3979. Welcome to 99X. Shreveport.
Yeah.
100.1 The Planet in New Hampshire.
That's Shreveport signal. Wait a minute. I think I'm getting my towns in Louisiana mixed up. I'm not sure. Is the Shreveport one closer to the Texas border, or is it Lafayette? It's Shreveport. It's definitely Shreveport.
Pretty sure Shreveport.
I know it busts into Texas quite a bit. Really exciting.
Heck yeah. We'll be in Louisiana next week for Radio Row, the broadcast from the Super Bowl Thursday and Friday. That'll be fun.
So there is a ton, we were just talking about this Hot Wings, a ton of snow at my house.
Yeah.
And man, God, I got to bust out a video camera and record my bulldogs going out into the yard to use the restroom. We haven't yet been able to clear snow in the backyard for them. So they have to literally blaze their own paths. They are their own plows with their giant shoulders, with the width of their enormous bulldog frames. And I thought to myself, what a pain in the... How shocking and awful would that be as humans if it came time to go number one or number two? We had to go basically lay in snow and just go.
Just make a yellow spot.
Push our way through the snow with our bodies.
They go out the back door, and it's up past their face. It's so incredibly deep, the snow, and they just disappear. And they're looking, are you crazy? What? And they have to spin around in a circle to make a spot where snow, because it's drop dead freezing, so the snow is just powder. They have enough sense to make like their own snow crop circle of push away snow that they just smash out with their body and then are able to go. What a disaster for them. Bad news for that dog.
Bummer about your stature. Sorry about that.
Oh, God.
You can join us for the Can't Wait to Talk About Blank segment, whatever's on your mind, 1-800-947-3979, freebeerandhotwings.com, a lot of videos and links up there. Last night I had something wrong with the pump on...
Is that like code? Oh.
Nope.
It's actually something.
Nope, it's actually the pump on the saltwater aquarium. And it circulates the water through, and it's pretty important. All of a sudden, the volume was way down. It was barely any water coming out. So I thought, all right, well, this sucks. And I thought there must be something blocking it. So to get it fixed, I fashioned a coat hanger.
Yeah.
And started digging around in there. But to do that, I had to stick both hands in salt water. And what I didn't know beforehand was how many nicks and cuts I must have on my hands.
Oh,
because it wasn't like the worst thing ever, but it was like, what? Ah! And then I don't know how this could happen. Now, without seeing the aquarium, this may not seem as amazing. But with the hanger just poking at the pump, I pulled out a snail shell, pretty sizable, that was caught in the impeller, and a sticker that would be on a T-shirt that would say large over and over. They put it on the fold. Now, the snail shell, at least there are snails in the quote-unquote ecosystem. However, they would have had to go through these small holes in the back, go through another hole that is covered by a foam filter, so that seems actually impossible, and then go through a filter, go over an acrylic wall, go down, and then get sucked in and go back in there and get stuck. So that seems impossible. So I assume a baby snail grew in there and got too big and blocked it. I don't really assume that, but I don't know what happened.
That poor bugger grew in there.
Like the sticker, it's like somebody came to my house and threw garbage in there. Like what's going on?
Yeah, that's a pretty peculiar one.
But on the bright side, it works again.
Was anybody at your house that was like a little kid maybe that could have gotten in?
Not really.
6, 7.
Anytime there's been kids there, there's been...
Or me.
They've been there, yeah. Did you throw your sticker or a snail in there?
Trash away.
Can't help it. Anytime I see open water, I got to throw something in it.
Feel the need. Take that, sad Indian.
Yeah, all I had was this sticker on my shirt that I forgot to take off when I put it on.
Before that, I was at the grocery store with my son, and he dropped something, and I'm going to pick that up. Now, I was holding him with one arm, so I bent over in a way that I guess I wouldn't normally, almost like I was doing a lunge, so that he would stay upright.
Yeah.
And my pants tore right in the crotch, so big that everyone at Meijer saw my underwear.
Oh, that
it was
awesome.
Impossible for people not to look right at the... I
ripped my pants.
It was 5-6 inches long.
Oh, my God.
At first it wasn't.
Blue
but then,
jeans?
Yeah.
You ripped a pair of blue jeans. That's not easy to do.
At the crotch. My wife's like, you've got to take those back. Those were faulty.
Absolutely.
Because they weren't, believe me, there's no chance my genitals were bursting out because they're too big.
No.
That's not it.
You did. I mean, that's unbelievable. I can't believe it.
They tore it. I went, oh, you've got to be kidding. I'm like, it sounded small. I looked down. Blue. Lots of light blue, which happened to be the color of my underwear. Wow, you can see that from everywhere. Oh, this is great. Hey, everyone, I'm carrying a child and I look like I'm showing my genitals. I'm going to leave now.
I can one-up you.
Nothing.
I can one-up you because one time I was swimming in the pool, and of course, you know, it's a pair of jammers. They're tight like any Speedo, but they come down to the top of your knee.
Yeah.
And I was doing the type of kick you would do. I was doing a breaststroke. So the kick is like that frog kick. It's a frog kick.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, the first pull where you bring your leg, where you draw your knees up, which would be the testing of the fabric at its most.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It ripped from the front, same way you did, all the way to the back on the seam. Now, here's the thing. I'm in the pool, and if I'm standing there, I'm fine. But if I start to swim, you will see all of my genitalia.
Oh, yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, at least mine was underwear.
And my actual butthole.
In case someone wants to get ready for a center exchange. Quarterback center exchange.
Yes.
Well, I can really see where to put my knuckle. Right there.
And I go, okay, now what? And there was nothing I could do. I got a little bit of assistance from the lifeguard who brought a towel nearby, but I finished the workout. I swam for about 45 minutes. So there is and free to the world to see. Every time I kicked, you'd see my little penis just and oh my!
You look like the Nirvana album cover.
Absolutely, 100%. It was actually I was swimming with exposed penis and unbelievable. Oh,
yeah, that's worse. There's no question that's worse.
I just said, screw it. I don't mind if everybody sees it. I want everyone to.
I kind of like it.
Look at it. This is me. This
hey,
is
everybody.
me.
Check out my rudder.
It's natural. It's the Lord's penis. So then I just got the towel and walked out when I was done. And that was the end of that. But man, talk about a feeling of desperation.
Yeah, no question.
And I said, well, I might as well just swim. So you went home, you took are you going to just like throw the pants away, or are you going to take?
They're pretty new. Like I ordered them online because it's from a store that I buy them from enough. I was confident they'd fit, which they did. They were great. But I didn't save the receipt, so I don't know. Maybe I'll take it to the store and say, I bought these a while ago.
No, I don't know. Maybe like
you look it up on my credit card and give me money? No? Okay, see you later. I'll take my torn pants now.
Weren't we just talking about jeans the other day, about Wranglers or something like that?
Yeah, I need some of those.
You need some
fancy ones that have all the cream in them.
Yeah, that's how the discussion went.
Those pre-cream jeans.
Okay, I remember now. Yeah,
Wrangler's new Twinkie pants. No, that's not what it is. Steve, have you had a chance to post the video of the soccer player in the Euro League? I think I don't know anything about soccer. So I say it's a EuroLeague game, but somebody will probably get bent on. No, it's not EuroLeague. Do some research, stupid.
That was being posted.
Someone for Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a player for Chelsea. I don't know what's going on specifically. I had read one report that the ball boy, who appears to be like a teenager, maybe early 20s, had told people he was going to waste time. And it does appear as the video plays that he wasn't giving the ball back to the soccer player. But listen to the confusion of the announcers, and then we'll tell you that the reason they're confused is because the replay eventually shows the soccer player kicking the ball boy.
Now, at this point, the ball boy has already been kicked, and they're going to the replay mode, so we won't hear the actual incident. We'll hear the postscript.
The ball out of his hands. Something happened which hurt the young lad. Chelsea's players are quick to go across and apologise and to see if he's okay.
Boy, he's hurting.
Frank Lampard prime among them. Well, that's inexcusable by Eden Hazard. There is no excuse for that at all.
Wow, boy.
Something happened which Lampard prime among them.
What the hell is he doing? Maybe this is where his hand's stuck
to the ball.
That's inexcusable.
It does appear. I mean, it's in the game, and it does appear the kid won't give the ball back. But you can't kick him in the ribs in front of 75,000 people and 40 cameras.
Makes a great GIF, though.
Boy, does it. When I first saw it, I just saw the GIF first, and I thought, how many times did he kick him? Oh, it's a GIF. I get it. He's not kicking him a million times.
I don't think he's kicking the ball boy as much as it seems. I think he's kicking the ball. He's trying to kick the ball out from under the ball
the kid
boy.
Is reacting like a soccer player trying to draw a yellow card.
Yes, I do.
You're probably right.
I don't think he got kicked that hard. I think he's trying to kick the ball out from under idiot who's trying to turtle over the top of it for some reason.
It is a great joke.
The player is a guy named Eden Hazard. So I wonder if anything's going to happen to him. But that's inexcusable. No, it's not.
I think it's completely excusable. I think that's an excellent excuse for kicking somebody when they will not give you your football.
Today in the Freeburg and Hot Wing Show, aggression towards ball boys. We provide it. Eden Hazard apologized, apparently. I don't know how much longer after that.
Just the whole line. The headline, Hazard apologized for kicking a ball boy. That's pretty bad.
The Belgian was trying to retrieve the ball from under the ball boy who had fallen on top of it. Hazard was shown a straight red card by referee Chris Foy, later told Chelsea TV. The boy put his whole body onto the ball, and I was just trying to kick the ball. I think I kicked the ball and not the boy. I apologize. Listen to the big deal they're making about this. South Wales, first of all, he got a red card for that? It didn't even happen on the field of play. I mean, it was off the field, and it wasn't like against another player. It's a ball boy. South Wales police say they will. It didn't affect the outcome of the game at all. South Wales police say they will investigate the incident. The police, which happened when the ball went out for a goal kick in the 80th minute of the match. Can you believe that the cops getting involved?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but I believe him because I hadn't read any of that text before I made that guess, and he said exactly what I thought the video looked like. That he barely kicked the guy. Maybe his shin might have hit him a little bit, but he was clearly trying to kick the ball out from underneath idiot who won't give the ball back.
0-0 at the Liberty Stadium. Chelsea coming forward. Oh, but there's a careless ball from Azpilicueta, who's trying to find.
Yeah, This is the boss of the Chelsea soccer
Obviously,
team.
the incident which is going to create a lot of headlines is the incident with Eden Hazard and the ball boy. I gather they've met and they've apologised to each other. They were both in the wrong, really, weren't they?
What?
I feel that they recognized that there was a mistake. No, the boy was apologizing for time wasting and.
The boy was apologizing for time wasting. Does that mean the kid was doing it intentionally?
That's the reports I had read. Yeah.
And he kicked the ball and kept the ball, but in the wrong way. So I know that was a mistake. And
it's clear that he wasn't trying to kick the ball boy, but all the same, he shouldn't.
Well, I don't know how clear it was. That's why he's in so much trouble, because people are saying it wasn't clear, I'm guessing.
Actually have done what he did.
He was kicking the ball and getting the ball. But again, we can analyze for half an hour and still we know that both they were wrong, and that's it.
This is a frustrating season for Chelsea. Lost the Super Cup final before you came. Lost in the final of the World Club Cup. You're now out of the Capital One Cup. You said
I am so not interested in soccer. My brother is like, man, there's a big game this weekend. What? Yeah, man, Super Bowl's coming up. No, dude, Chelsea's playing Manchester. And I'm like, God, I know there's a lot of people, but I have never even remotely gotten to be somewhat interested in it.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievably, never, ever has that. And I've tried.
I enjoy the World Cup.
I do not.
Yeah, I enjoy moments of it for short periods of time, but the only time I enjoyed soccer was when I went to a couple of games of indoor soccer where they play it in the size of a hockey rink area.
Yeah.
And that was fun because it's much faster, obviously. Those huge fields.
I think they need a bigger field. Yeah, they actually need to double the size of the field.
You think so? And have 22
running
on each side?
Yeah.
No, less guys.
Make it a 1 mile by 1/2 mile field.
And play 1-on-1.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
2 guys per side.
It's goalie to goalie.
Yeah. Who can kick it farther?
Guys, Deadspin had something yesterday that I really enjoyed, and that is this. On December 4th, the Wisconsin football coach, Brett Bielema, after the Badgers had won the Big Ten championship, announced he was leaving and
He's
taking
a handsome
job
man, by the way.
Arkansas. Yeah. And they posted a job opening, because even though the hiring process is different than hiring a new secretary for the math department, they still have to post it so that they're online and appropriate with human resources. So a bachelor's degree was required. 5 years of successful college football coaching experience was preferred.
White skin.
When they advertised the job on its human resources website. Well, via a public records request, Deadspin got a hold of a bunch of applications from some of the people who applied for the job.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about some guy who was a defensive coordinator in the Mountain West Conference who thought, I'm ready to take the next step.
Okay.
I'm talking about FedEx drivers and chemists who thought, you know what? You need a change of pace after 3 straight Rose Bowls. It's time for you to roll the dice on me. We'll read you some of their...
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Uh-oh. He's got to get Free Beer's juices flowing, no doubt. Are you right there?
I don't know this part of it.
Yeah, I've never heard
this. Must be the lead-in. On Wisconsin.
Is On Wisconsin considered to be fight song or alma mater?
On Wisconsin is the fight song, but this is not the part that they play. Or it's not the song.
Right. It's either not the right part or...
Let's hear it. Here it goes.
I'm going to say this is not the Wisconsin fight song.
Maybe it becomes... Wait.
No way.
It's not it.
No fight song takes this long of a lead-in to get to the main part.
Like the Michigan fight song has that big, long lead-in.
Joe, can you double-check on that? We
but it sounds like it would go.
So anyway, Joe, you could maybe do a double back on that, because
is that like
we need to redeem
Wisconsin
ourselves.
State College,
that
maybe you got there.
That's the fight song for Wisconsin Whitewater.
WSCC.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Greater Madison Community College.
The University of Wisconsin has built itself into a Big Ten power after being terrible for many, many years, and then starting when Barry Alvarez came.
I remember
before his
that
son cooked the bird.
Ago.
And then they've grown and grown, and now
they were so bad back in the 80s, man, early 80s, 70s. Jesus,
yeah,
it was always Northwestern in Wisconsin. You could always expect like a the schedule be littered with loss 77-0.
Yeah, they were terrible.
65-3.
And then Barry Alvarez came in and turned it around, and then under Brett Bielema, they got even better. And then Bielema left to go to Arkansas. After he said that he didn't want to be like the SEC coaches, then he became one. That's weird.
That is weird. Think about that.
We'll see how that works out.
Mm-hmm.
But before they hired a new coach, they had to post the job on their website. They hired Gary Anderson from Utah State, who's a pretty good fit, and he'll probably do very well there. But a lot of people applied.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, these are people who think, I'm going to get this.
Okay.
Thanks to Freedom of Information, a lot of the letters, the cover letters that were included. Now, I'll read you some of the ones where at least the people seem smart, albeit misguided.
Wait a minute. Now, these are serious?
Yes.
These are people who actually say,
this, when you hear it, it sure sounds serious. Harrison Selwitz. To whom it may concern, I'm applying for the head football coach position at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I recently graduated from Tulane in New Orleans with a BSM in finance. I am currently employed at Epic as a financial analyst. I reside in Madison. Please find my attached comprehensive resume. I have a strong background in athletics that has provided me with the requisite experience for this position. I served as a captain at a successful program at Miramont High in Orinda, California, playing both wide receiver and defensive back. I also have significant Division I athletics experience serving as a practice player for Tulane basketball.
Oh, my God.
My God, how did they not pick this guy? Working with the all-time winningest coach in the conference has left me with invaluable insights into coaching a successful team. I also have found success in recruiting when I assisted in bringing in highly ranked prospect for the school.
How is it that they actually think that this is worth their time? If you're a person who has to explain your credentials in a letter, you don't have any credentials. You should be able to say, the only way you're going to get a job as a major college football coach is if you say your name, and then the people who are listening go, oh, yeah, he ranks.
Yeah.
He's had success here.
Yeah,
Call him.
In this misguided moron's mind, Barry Alvarez is sitting there going through a manila folder going, oh, geez, I hope we find someone who's qualified. Like when I used to hire people to work at a pizzeria.
Jeez, man, this is stupid.
Oh, man, well, this guy doesn't seem like he's done drugs and he has a car. I'll hire him.
This seems to be a bright person.
He goes on to say, my abilities and experiences make me an excellent candidate.
No, they don't.
You wouldn't be a good candidate for video coordinator.
Right. If you do say so yourself. You're not. Are you kidding me? I would love to see that. Okay. At least just one interview where they just lambaste him and record it and then put it on the Wisconsin school website. We don't want this guy because here's what's going to happen to you. And just grill him. And just completely emasculate him.
Yeah,
humiliate him.
Would you diagram the wide 9 defensive front for me, please? What? You don't know what that is?
Yep, and just continue to hammer him. Don't even give him a chance to respond. Move on to the next thing.
The new vogue in college football is the pistol offense. What would you do defensively to stop that?
Actually, give him a telestrator.
Yeah.
And run a play.
Yeah.
And then record all of this and put it right on the Wisconsin, it on the state's website.
Like Gruden's, Wisconsin.gov. Like Gruden's quarterback camp on ESPN, but just to make them feel
there
stupid.
You go, smarty pants. Now, now get your ass up and go run a rec league.
Well, another, the second application came from a guy who got a Bachelor of Science in Pharmaceuticals from Madison.
Oh, my.
And graduated in 1999, and he's a big fan of football. And his extensive knowledge that he has built managing a pharmacy, a local Walgreens, in combination with his knowledge of college football, makes him a viable, although admittedly unconventional candidate for this position.
Book smart, people dumb.
Mm-hmm. All right, now this next one. Now it starts to get into... In these next ones, they include where the people had to list current salary and desired salary, which is a typical blank you would fill in when applying for a job.
Yeah.
Although college football coach, again, is a little bit different than everything else. Carlo Flores. Current job title, courier, college coach. Current salary, $50,000 a year. Desired salary, $60,000 a year.
Ethnicity, not white. Next.
I assume that I believe the job at Wisconsin probably pays in the ballpark of $2.5 million a year. So this guy would come at a great savings. There it is.
You've recognized it now?
Yeah, that's on Wisconsin.
It's the same song.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's a minute in.
Most of the best fight songs have a long preamble.
Yeah. Get the one guy picking the music that doesn't know where the hook is for the fight song.
I have no idea.
Joe, I'm with you. I wouldn't have gotten it either.
Here, guys. I got the Arkansas fight song in case we need
All right,
it.
cool.
It's right here.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Joe, do you know why that's funny?
No.
You shouldn't. It's not funny. That's the Arkansas fight song.
Yes.
There's nothing funny about that.
Whoa, pig suey, they'll yell. So Carlo writes his desired salary is $60,000 a year. Please accept this letter as my intent of application for the open position in your organization. I have worked for FedEx for 18 years. I have worked as courier and have experience as an operations manager, international coordinator, sales manager. It seems like there should be an and there, but there's not. Prior to working for FedEx, I worked as a terminal manager for Airborne Express for 3 years and had the same responsibility of senior manager at Ramp. I also worked coaching baseball and football for the past 27 years at high schools in California, Texas, and Utah. During the past 18 years, I have proven to be motivated and hardworking. I went to school to receive my degree in business management and master's in education for an opportunity like this. I have worked in different Latin countries and speak Spanish fluently. Very valuable when you're talking to big Polacks who are on the offensive line.
Yeah, with their big Mexican recruiting base.
I have no problem with white man.
Wisconsin has long been known for winning the recruiting battles in Mexico. I mean, East L.A. is a pipeline for the Wisconsin program. All right, so he's not going to get it. What about Jeffrey Conline? He's an executive search consultant. His current salary is $83,000 a year, but he'll take a nice bump to $100,000.
Okay, still a bargain, today's coaching prices.
I have extensive executive-level recruiting experience as part of a $1 billion professional staffing firm and currently with GE Capital's Retail Finance Business Unit.
Again, an educated guy who thinks that he can tell stupid football players how to play better.
I have also played 1 year of Division III athletics, baseball, and began coaching high school baseball at 18. I'm a lifelong resident and University of Wisconsin supporter. I also hold a bachelor's degree from the school system. I'm expressing my interest in the head coaching vacancy for the football program. Again, these sound like smart people.
Good for you.
Yeah, well educated. Just people dumb.
Lawrence Bullock, to whom it may concern, I am writing for you to consider me to be part of your staff at NCAA position. I was mentored by Steve Kiner, who was at the University of Tennessee. I believe you might know Steve. He was a linebacker for the Oilers.
Is there a phone number for any of these?
No, I'm sure they can be found. I mean, they're regular people.
I just want to talk to each one of them individually and give them a lecture on life.
Greg Burkhart was short and sweet. As UW's head coach, I feel I would be able to take Wisconsin to the next level. Being able to carry on and advance the Badger football tradition would be a great achievement that I am able to do.
Can you imagine if they're rummaging through all these and they get to the last one and it's a cover letter from John Madden?
Yeah.
I won the Super Bowl in this and this year.
You may have heard of a video game I'm part of.
I've really got the itch.
Yeah. I have been around football my entire life. As long as I can travel by bus, I'm your guy. Please consider me for the position of head football coach. Signed, John Madden.
Now, this one is a little more realistic. Brian Dawkins is a financial analyst. Current salary, $48,000 a year. Desired salary, $50,000 a year. This is his entire letter. To whom it may concern, I have no football coaching experience at any level. It would be a huge mistake to hire me for this position. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, I like that one.
Yeah.
There's about 1 billion of them. Eric Redmond, career job title, coach. Current salary, $85,000. Desired salary, $200,000. His letter, Coach Redmond, take this team to the next level. Out.
This is like some of the applications and resumes, cover letters that the radio station no doubt gets too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know there's a morning show vacancy. Everybody's banging on the door.
What was that one who always squeaked his name?
Tater.
The Tater.
The Tater.
Yeah.
I'm the Tater.
Joe, get it. You got to get the Tater.
Can you get the Tater audio?
That was the guy who sent in a audio example of how he sounds on the air. He actually was working somewhere. And if I remember correctly, that was his one thing. He wanted to somehow get a signature way to say his name.
He wanted a catchphrase, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like on SportsCenter, guys have catchphrases.
Oh, and it just was the most irritating thing. You won't believe this.
Completely grating.
This is so worth it to actually bring this up again. He thought he was qualified. Well, he was qualified because he had worked on a radio station and had worked on the air.
We'll share a little bit of that in the next segment. Also, Pat Robertson. I don't know if you know this. He's a bit of a misogynist.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
We mentioned in the last segment all the people applying for the Wisconsin job as the head coach of the football program. Mm-hmm. And that it happens in radio, too. People apply for jobs. Now, this person we're featuring is not, believe me, not even close to the worst that we've ever gotten. It just so happens that he has a signature moment in his demo that makes it stand out in our memory.
I dare somebody right now to tell me that video does not bring a tear to your eye. And if you have not seen the video, go to YouTube, check it out, and see if it brings a little tear to your eye, especially the end. Wait for the end. You got to wait for the end.
At the end?
It's all there. It all leads up one thing. That was Avenged Sevenfold and Seize the Day here on 104.9 The Edge with your boy, Tater. And we're going to keep it going with Adelita's Way. Guys call Nevada, Las Vegas, that is, hometown. I like that to be my hometown. Here it is. Suck it up, soak it in. I
like how he talks about where the band is from, mm-hmm. and then weighs in on his personal views on the community in and around Nevada.
Wish I had been born there. I could have been born there. I could have been somebody.
With the Tater.
Steve says, there's an issue when your big bit on your demo is you talking about a video on YouTube.
Yes.
Sure
Amber Lynn in the Untold Story here on with your boy.
You do too much. You're not Superman,
I don't know if that's a little creepy, but I'm going to keep doing it. I like it.
What? He drops out of left.
Yeah, wait, what?
He had rehearsed that and gotten ready and had his finger on the button. This is me, the Tater.
Good for you.
What? You said good for me? He's actually talking to the drops.
Your language is offensive.
I know, but what about yours?
Yours is.
Is there a discernible point to this story?
If my dad lived with me, that's what he'd say to me. Jesus.
You let me know if you like that song. Facebook, Twitter, MySpace.
What is bleeped out? Is that?
I think the intention was to bleep out the ID of the station so someone couldn't track him down. Yet the very first time he said it, I remember him saying 104.9 The Edge. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that might have been a missed one.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
.com. Either way, the text line. Either way, let me know if you like it or not.
He's hanging on to words. And it sounds like he's tasted one a time or two.
You do, you don't, whatever. It's okay, man. So we got a shout out coming from Brandon and wants to hear some Alice in Chains and Your Decision here on.
Oh man, Brandon's from a town I wish I was from.
Why do we keep hearing these fart sounds?
I think that's his unique way of breaking up his demos so that the programmers will hear it and go, whoa, this guy's different.
Tater Chip. Good song. I like that song.
That was.
It takes him like 3 seconds to say was. That was.
All to pieces.
No, people like that.
By Velvet.
He throws in this laugh for no reason.
Oliver, just letting you know that you can find me on Facebook, Twitter.
Would this be described as sing-song? A sing-song delivery?
A little bit,
because he's hanging on to words in that weird way.
MySpace, all Tater, because I'm special and cool like that. Kicking it off, it's one of the greatest covers I personally have heard and not very well known.
Okay, now...
my favorite cover is The Pillow Over Your Face.
Yeah, I think that I actually think that because he's so far gone on his delivery that he actually is like one of these people trying to get the job at Wisconsin. Though he's on the radio, that guy has zero qualifications. He sounds terrible and can never improve. In fact, his boss should tell him that. Say, you know what? You're just not cut out for this. You're not. You're not going to improve, and you're awful.
It is non-point covering Phil Collins in the air tonight.
Sadly, I'm not having any luck tracking this.
Yeah,
this superstar.
Thank God. I'm glad he got out of our industry so he doesn't dilute it more. We already have enough idiots in this business.
I tracked him down a while ago.
You did?
Yeah, and he started... I tried to get him on, but he didn't respond quick enough, so, we moved on. But he would email me from time to time saying, hey, I got another demo if you want it.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man. Do you still say your voice like that? your name?
Do you still sound as weird?
Maybe he might. I mean, maybe this is his first 6 months on the radio.
No.
I mean, we were all terrible.
No.
Yes, we were.
Not that bad.
Yeah, but not that bad. 6 months is too much. Now, if this was his first 6 hours on the radio, I could deal with that. But by 6 months, you should be hello. Yeah, exactly.
That was Hot Wings.
That was me. That was the first thing I said on the radio. And the only thing that differed me from Tater Chip was saying, otherwise, our regular delivery was similar. But I like to think that I did, in fact, improve
vast
over
improvement.
6 months.
And look where you are now.
And look where I am now.
Boy, the Tater.
Yeah, I just want to punch this kid. I so want to punch him.
3 Days Grace with The Good Life wrapping up, tied together. And
oh, God.
Justin out in the long distance guy. Appreciate the listen all the way out in the...
we were really protecting it. Trying to protect his identity. Do you remember what community?
No, I had no idea.
Team 4 tied together
I assume
was
it's someplace
one
where
of
he
two
didn't
things.
get to bone his girlfriend because of all the mosquitoes. But I don't know where.
Steve throwing one in close to home with an insult about the rest of the staff.
It's true.
Sounds like every weekender in this company.
The easy one.
That's a bummer. And he says most full-timers as well. Now, wait a minute.
It always terrifies me that I'm going to check the email later this morning, and it'll be from someone, at maybe at one of the stations where we haven't been on too long, or maybe one where we've been on a long time, and they say, I don't know if you know this, but our sister station just hired a guy named Tater, and we had you on in the building, and now he's crying in casserole in the kitchen, and everybody's uncomfortable because of you guys.
Yeah, or needed to be told. Even worse, I don't know if you guys obviously don't know this, but when your show goes off the air, that's when Tater comes on.
Yeah, you might.
He's our midday guy.
You might know him as Tony Labrie.
My God, it's true.
Wait, Pat Robertson is a misogynist.
Do you recall this?
Yeah, this one I don't want to play this one because it does hit close to home for someone.
Oh,
we did. This is one of those. This is the reason that I feel that way.
What?
Because after we did it, we went, oh wait, he.
Never mind.
Worked with all of you nice people? Oh, and he's sick now? Oh, well,
never mind.
Very sorry.
Never mind.
Here's a funny YouTube video of some cats.
Got nothing. We'll just be playing the Wisconsin Fight song here in a minute.
Yep, or the Hong.
Hong.
Pat Robertson.
Fight Hong.
He's a misogynist.
Free Beer and Hot Wings Show, featuring free beer.
When I was a kid, I had musical influences. My brother played Crocus, and my dad played Marty Robbins. Why didn't I invent some new genre, like scream, death?
That is a crazy
Tex-Mex.
influence, Crocus and old school country music. Mine was Neil Diamond and Roger Whittaker and Bob Seger.
Yeah.
Wow. When you said Crocus, that is the first time I've ever heard that word in my life.
Back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. Joe and Steve here, too.
Boy, they're showing a lot of previews of Manti Te'o. two things to note on the previews for the Katie Couric interview. First of all, the two-shot of her and Manti, her legs look great. She looks
She's got great legs.
Yeah, she really does. And Manti Te'o might have the squarest head I've ever seen on a person. It is a block. That dude is a linebacker.
Yeah,
he's got a block head.
His face looks like video game faces when they first started trying to put real faces on video game bodies.
Yeah.
And it always looked all stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like maybe the first version of NBA Jam with Bill Laimbeer. That era of face.
Everyone's shaped kind of the same, and all of them are weird.
Yeah. Your head looks like a block.
Yeah. We'll play some audio from the teasers of that interview and some of the other stuff that's going around. ESPN continues to do a weird brand of pseudo-journalism. Yesterday, they released phone records from Te'o showing that there were more than 100 calls of more than an hour from him to that phone number in California. However, they didn't reveal whether or not a bunch of those calls were of the 6-hour or 8-hour variety that Te'o had said he had been a part of. And then later it was revealed that they didn't actually get the phone records. They got a spreadsheet from Te'o's future agency that said these are the calls that were made. Well, that is not phone records. I could do that.
No, that's not doing any diligence. There's no point in even saying you've got that stuff.
That's why, even though I think he probably did get duped, the question is, when did he realize it? Because they're not completely forthcoming in the way they're handling this.
Well,
and I don't think it ultimately matters if he can tackle a ball carrier and cover a tight end in space. He's going to have a long, fruitful NFL career.
Yeah,
just seems weird.
I think he had to have suspected that there was something going on. People were playing him, and then he just kept it quiet. And when it was brought up, he just went with it.
Boy, and he talks about one of the teasers in this clip is him talking to Katie about, she asked, well, why did you keep lying about it when you knew it wasn't true? And he said, well, I found out on December 6th that this was all a lie, and on December 8th I had to do a national interview. Okay, well, I understand that. You don't want to go in the interview and say, hey, it was all a lie. However, they played an interview on ESPN Radio this morning from ESPN Radio from 3 days after he would have found out. 3 days after or right after the Heisman Trophy, so right about that same time.
Yeah.
He knew it was fake at that point. And in the interview, the question is brought up about Notre Dame having a great season, and he brings up the tragedies that he dealt with, meaning his grandmother and his fake girlfriend's death. Mm-hmm. He brought it up. It wasn't like the interviewer went out of the way, and then the interviewer actually said, well, Manti, since you brought that up, what was it like dealing with that?
Wow.
And they said something to the effect of, well, your grandmother and your girlfriend died at about the same time. And he goes, on the same day. It's like, all right.
Okay.
It's one thing to bring it up to bring it up or respond if it's brought up to you. But he went out of his way in this interview to bring it up. And so that it just continues to be a little bit weird.
And also, let's not lose sight of the fact that if this was your girlfriend and she went through a whole regimen to try to cure her of her or get her cancer into remission, you never once did anything more than phone calls and text.
Yeah, you're still the world's worst boyfriend.
And stupid. That's your best case scenario.
You've never Skyped, you've never FaceTimed, you've never never sent photos to each other back and forth. You never sought out her family, you never visited. That, to me, is so not answered.
Yeah. Pat Robertson is the host of the 700 Club and has been for a long, long time. Was he the one that started the real religious movement in the Republican Party? Was he the moral majority? Or was that somebody else that led that?
Graham?
I don't know if it was Billy. I mean, Billy Graham was very prominent for a long time.
Pat Robertson
took it to the next level.
George W. Bush did it. He did it.
Robertson is the one who created the network and everything.
I think Robertson at one point did run for president.
He did, yes. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. Jerry Falwell.
That's right. Well, Pat Robertson, a very religious man. Now, he's done a lot of things in the past, like blame Hurricane Katrina on New Orleans' embrace of gay and other Wiccan lifestyle. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, is that one of these clips?
Yeah.
You see? Is it one of these other ones? We're getting a rather
large file.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
It seems clear that the prophetic times I have been expecting for decades have finally arrived.
I've been expecting it.
And even worse, it appears that the judgment of America has begun. I warned continually that the last days lineup of world powers does not include anything resembling the United States of America. Instead, a revived Roman Empire in Europe is to rule the West and then the world.
So God's wrath.
What?
Okay, so...
You're nuts.
Is Katrina. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I would love to talk to people like that and say, so there were no bad things that happened 150 years ago when this country was in its glory, as you would say? There were no bad things?
Okay.
Hell, like 40 people died when a molasses dump broke in Boston in 1910 and killed people real slowly. That had to be terrible.
It's the end of days.
Yeah, no, this is it. This is it. The Romans are about to rise up again and take over the world.
Well, hell, you can buy their wheat bread.
Modified Fiats
the beginning
as
of the
tanks.
All right, well, this latest one sounds like the person that he's with, this lady, is a little bit fed up with him.
You know, a woman came to a preacher that I know. It's so funny. And she was awful looking. I mean, her hair was all torn up, and she was overweight and looked terrible, clothes bad and everything. And
there's some context that we didn't have.
Yeah, he had gotten a letter from a young man saying, hey, what can I do to get my dad back into the marriage? He's
with my mom and dad. They're really on different pages.
Yeah, they're really struggling.
And he starts with this anecdote.
You know, a woman came to a preacher that I know. It's so funny. And she was awful looking. I mean, her hair was all torn up, and she was overweight. And
you know, it's bad. You refer a woman's hair is all torn up.
Terrible clothes bad and everything.
I'm going to take that one, actually. That's a good insult. Man, she's all torn up.
Her clothes are bad.
And she said, "Oh, Reverend, what can I do? My husband has started to drink." And the preacher said, "Madam, if I was married to you, I'd start to drink too." Oh, my. We need to cultivate romance, darling, and it needs to be the men have got to be cultivating romance, and the women. You always have to keep that spark of love alive. It just isn't something that just lie there. Well, I'm married to him, so he's got to take me slatternly looking. You've got to fix yourself up, look pretty, look alert.
I guess it's fair for him to say he's done such a great job of keeping himself in shape and being a nice offering to his poor belittled wife.
Wow. Do you think he's ever said that to his wife if she drops below his standards?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on TV. I can get a new one.
This one looks rough.
What's that one thing at Thanksgiving you just have to have? It's mac and cheese. Sister, that is my dish. That is the one.
It was a conversation between the president's wife and someone else, I'm guessing. Is that what led him to this discussion? I think it is.
One thing that I can rock. But only once a year.
Good interview, Christy. Congratulations. What is this mac and cheese? Is that a black thing?
It is a black thing, Pat. It is a black... Listen, and you guys, other people, the world needs to get on board with macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, because I've never had that. I can't wait to try that at a soul food festival.
Wait a minute. What is this African-American, crazy, weird Italian culinary dish I'm just hearing about?
Yeah, why didn't our Black Army, our Blarmy, tell us about this delicious mac and cheese before Pat Robertson?
I mean, I like macaroni, and God knows I love cheese. I've never heard of this crazy notion of combining the two into one delicious substance. Is that a black thing? Macaroni and cheese?
Jeez. They sound like a really bad morning zoo that follows that. There's a theory in morning radio that if you're going to do like a top 40 morning zoo thing, it's supposed to be build it as a doe, a dick, and a deer. meaning a woman who's nice and all the female audience can relate to.
That's the deer?
The dick, would be the guy that's kind of the troublemaker. Look out, yeah, you're in trouble. And the deer is the guy or woman who endears themselves to the audience by sticking up for those who are downtrodden.
Okay.
And this seems like that, except they forgot the deer. Okay. They just have the D. No, they have the deer. They don't have... I don't know. I forgot my own analogy.
I get confused, too.
Now, I don't know
they have the doe. They don't have the deer.
I don't know what the dynamic is between these two on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But every time there's a clip of him saying something absurd, I think she hates him.
I hope so.
It's my impression that every day she goes there, she knows she gets paid pretty well. It's a good, steady job, but generally speaking, she hates this old fool. She has to. How could she not?
Yeah.
Was it an earthquake in Haiti? Is that what caused all the
absolutely
earthquake? It was a massive earthquake. It was so bad 2 years ago.
This deal with the devil.
That island of Hispaniola is one island. It's cut down the middle. On the one side is Haiti, on the other...
I like how he probably, he goes out of his way to review the ins and outs of the geographic makeup of the area. He probably did it 10 minutes before he did this and does a good job of memorizing it and then blurts it out.
Side is the Dominican Republic. Yeah. Dominican Republic is prosperous, healthy, full of resorts, etc. Haiti is in desperate poverty. Same islands. They need to have, and we need to pray for them, a great turning to God. And out of this tragedy, I'm optimistic something good may come.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he's been doing that forever, taking anything negative that happens, any terrible thing in the world, and this is just a not as intense version of the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah.
He did a poor job on this, because when you look at the religions of Haiti, roughly 80% is Christianity.
Okay.
So they're being punished because of others.
Yep.
That guy's
because of all these terrible, weird, pagan people.
What Hotwix thinks coming up in a couple of hours. What's your topic?
How the NAACP isn't really representing black people.
Okay. Wow, we got some hard-hitting issues in this show.
Because up next, it's Women on the Front Lines. A new program put forth by Leon Panetta yesterday.
And they'll be fighting in the trenches, side by side with dudes shooting people.
Now, what Hot Wings thought from yesterday, shockingly, and this isn't an insult to Hot Wings, it may sound like it, but it's not. I'm surprised at how relevant this still is, because I'm surprised at how relevant or how still topical this story remains.
Yeah.
I can't believe people are still talking about this. But we're just getting to the beginning of the Beyonce controversy.
Oh, no.
Here's what Hot Wings thought. Hot Wings. What Hot Wings thought.
Free beer, Zane, and listeners. Whoa, so a lot of people sure are making a big deal out of Beyonce possibly lip-syncing the Star-Spangled Banner at Monday morning's inaugural ceremony. Now, at least as of an hour or so ago, it was not a definite fact that Beyonce did lip-sync, although it looks pretty likely. And I say, so what? Who cares? Artists use pre-recorded tracks all the time. And when the conditions are less than ideal, like outside in January when it's cold as hell, why not? I mean, who wants their anthem to sound like a toddler singing the theme song to Thomas the Tank Engine? Now, I know that a voice isn't as affected by the cold as an actual instrument, but hell, 4 years ago, super famous cellist Yo-Yo Ma and violinist Itzhak Perlman opted not to play live because they were afraid their instruments would sound like butt. No one wants to sound like butt when the world is watching, so they went through the motions but played to something they had pre-recorded ahead of time. It's not as if she can't sing or those guys can't play. They just didn't want to blow it. It'd be different if there was some question about her talent, or if she was someone who had always insisted that she would never lip sync as long as she was the object of self-flagellation. But to my knowledge, she hasn't. Now, admittedly, it's always a bit disappointing when anyone fakes it to a track because you lose that off chance that they'll kind of suck in some way. But really, you'd think that this was a bigger shock than Iran-Contra or the time that Beyonce decided to marry such an ugly guy. Taye Diggs or Reggie Bush? Not a shock. Lip syncing? Not a shock. Letting Jay-Z get familiar with her from the inside? Shocking.
Yep.
Though he does have a buttload of money, power, and influence, so maybe less shocking. Anyway, stop acting like Beyonce owes us something, or she's trying to hide something. Hell, I'm just thrilled to hear her voice singing something that doesn't annoy the hell out of me with some kind of staccato ricky-ticky pop beats.
Oh, chanting.
Yes. This isn't the first time that a good singer has lip-synced during a pivotal moment. It won't be the last. Who cares? Let it go. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
1-800-947-3979. You can email idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. An hour away from Dumber Than Zane Trivia, presented by Cat Footwear. Jason from Nashville could win $1,200 today.
So do you think we'll hear from any tough guys who will call this show and be not so pleased with the prospect of this country's finest women fighting on the front lines alongside men in combat?
I'm sure there are a lot of different opinions on that we'll hear from. That announcement yesterday was a pretty big deal.
Now, wait a minute. How did this all start? Is it Panetta brought it forth? Is that what...
I think there have been...
It's been coming.
This has been a debate for a long time. But, yeah, Panetta made the decision, I guess, and notified everyone, we're going to start allowing this.
What do you think about this, Howings? What is your opinion about women in combat on the front lines?
You know, having never served, I don't really care. I mean, it doesn't affect me. If they can fight alongside the men and everybody can coexist nicely, fine by me. I mean, I don't have a problem with women doing that role. But I see the arguments for both sides. I understand where, the argument can be. I don't know about the morale thing. Oh, it's going to bring morale down. But
how?
But I can see. I mean, in the heat of battle, when you're actually firing guns, I don't think gender will play any role. I don't think anybody's going to care. Your brain isn't going to be thinking, oh, I got a lady next to me. Hey, look at hubba hubba. But I do think that there could be an issue if you're sharing the same areas and you get, these guys who are amped up and they're in the heat of battle, and then you go back and, there's, if somebody starts to get feelings, if you get two guys that start having feelings for a woman or something, even if she's not doing anything, I mean, who knows?
I
don't know. There's a lot of different scenarios that could play out.
Let's say you're in a firefight and you've developed some type of feelings for this other person who serves with you and fights, but whatever, it doesn't matter the stage of what your feelings are, whether you've expressed them to that person or not, and then they get shot.
That could be an issue.
You may behave differently because of the bond or the emotional attachment. Is that?
It could be, I guess. I mean, that's not what I was getting at, but
I think that's devaluing their training and the fact that the tremendous amount of concern and care they have for their brothers already in arms when they see their friends that they've been at war with or serving with. That's highly emotional anyway. And their training is people that are on the front lines. I mean, I've never been there, obviously, but from what we've read and from what we've been told by people who are there, their training is so dramatic and so specific, and they're so dedicated to their task and to their choice to serve that they can separate themselves. I think the part of the problem is for people like us and for most people who haven't gone to do it, it's hard to imagine. Because when I think, a woman on the front line, I think of my wife or other women I know. Well, that's not great. But then again, I don't think any of us would fare very well on the front line.
No.
Offense.
I mean, it would be different if it was a draft situation and women were being drafted to the front lines. But it's not. They're volunteering. They want to do it. So I don't care if they want to do it. Great, man. More power to you. Thank you. I appreciate it because I'm too much of a puss.
And it comes up in this light because there are people who are saying, wait a minute, not so fast. In fact, women's groups are saying that they don't think it would be a good idea for women to be on the front lines. And I haven't been given a clear reason. I just heard we don't think it's a good idea. And I need more to know why. What are you saying?
We need your thoughts on this, 1-800-947-3979, especially if you've served. Or if you're there, I'm sure there are women listening who are serving or have served, who were denied the opportunity to go and serve on the front lines. This policy has been in place, according to this article, for 20 years. Now, it was intended to limit women's exposure to combat. Defense Secretary Leon Panetta decision to overturn the 1994 policy direct ground combat definition and assignment rule prevented women from serving. This is highly controversial, as they say. He says, or the Defense Department noted in February of last year, the modern battle space, however, without clearly defined boundaries, logically requires that the department revisit this prohibition. Because there have been women who weren't technically on the front lines who were very much involved in some big things, but they were prevented from getting proper promotions and such because of this rule.
There was some woman I heard on the news who was a helicopter pilot. And though not on a line fighting, ground combat, she came under fire and bullet ripped through the windshield and she got hit. Yeah. And she was still able to carry out her mission and return fire. So that happens.
Well, I think there are women in combat fighter roles because this is ground troops, infantry, like head-to-head type stuff. I think that's what this. I want to see. I think they've been able to. I think they've been able to fly in combat missions. With airplanes for a while.
They need to actually. You remember how there was the Tuskegee Airmen? It was all black guys. They need to do an all women ass kicking ground patrol. And actually give them some crazy ass name.
Can you imagine that in some of the Muslim countries where we've been, where women are not even supposed to make eye contact or show their ankle?
Actually take a gun barrel, and they would be so aggressive and hardcore with it. They would be like Jim Harbaugh with a gun barrel.
Yeah, and all the bullets are made of bacon. The most terrifying fighing force in the world.
Be like lingerie football.
They would
those chicks are hot, but they hit real hard.
They would have
their thing.
It would be these crazy tough chicks that would have no shirts on and just like those I don't forget what they're called, but like those bullet belts.
Bullets,
across across their chest, covering their boobs.
Rambo, but covering their boobs.
They'd intentionally stab themselves for a blood thing going on as they lit up the crowd.
This from an op-ed piece in the New York Times from a woman named Gail Collins. She's the president of the Women in Military Service for America Memorial Foundation. She retired from active duty in 1985. She says that with the many women that make up, I think she says 15% of our fighting force, she said without that, the all-volunteer military would be difficult to maintain.
Yeah.
And she makes the point that this is long overdue, and women have taken their posts with such seamless calm that the country barely noticed. Seems true for the most part. By the way, I'm surprised at the 0 calls we've gotten on this. Apparently people don't care.
I don't listen to women yelling. I tell them to shut up.
Joe indicates that our all women brigade with no tops and bullet belts across their boobs would shove used tampons in skull holes of the enemy.
Wow.
War as hell. They're vicious. Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah, I can't. Anybody who has actually been fighting on the front line, how would you react if
Tracy writes, as a sergeant in the Marine Corps with a husband who is a staff sergeant, this is not a good idea. A lot of women are just going to end up knocked up, and men are going to sacrifice themselves if a woman is in danger. That's just nature. Plus, I don't know how a woman will handle having...
Pause there.
This can't be real.
No.
This cannot be a real woman. writing this.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know that's
she
true.
She continues, plus I don't know how women will handle having their period on the front lines. We are different, and women don't need to be on the front lines to be useful. I can't believe... Wait, you're a sergeant in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And you're saying that women are just going to get knocked up and men are going to feel bad and get killed on purpose to save you?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
That's one of the arguments, though. That's not the first time I've heard that argument.
No, it's not the first time I've heard that argument. It's the first time I've heard that argument from a woman who's in the Marines. Seems...
But there are women that feel that way. I remember the last time we had a presidential election, which was very recently. We would get calls from women saying, I would never vote for a woman. We're too emotional.
What about
a woman shouldn't be president? You'd hear that.
What about women that act and behave and dress and look like men? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about badass Bull Dyke. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Who will rip off your leg and beat your face with it. What about that?
Yeah, a brigade of peppermint patties.
I think they would dominate and go into any situation.
Yeah,
that's who you want.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't have any issue with it, but I'm not the one fighting either. I don't know the military culture. I don't know what it's like on a front line. I don't know the bond you get with all these other people that you're around. I don't know how that would change things.
This email from Gary, he says, I have served in Iraq. It's different when you see your friend get shot than when your wife gets shot. I don't have to go home every day and be reminded that my friend is dead, but if my wife dies, I'll be reminded every day. Well,
what?
Well, they're not only drafted, they're not like every guy who's in, hey, sorry, your wife's in the Army now, so you have to go everywhere you go. It's not take your daughter to work day.
Yeah, your wife doesn't have to enlist, or you don't have to marry somebody who is also in the military on the front lines.
The women who will be there don't have to marry you. This isn't like getting a green card.
Yeah, I don't think it's mandatory.
If a woman's on the front line, you're not going to want to marry her anyway.
I don't think our phones are working, by the way. I just tested it, and we've gotten a couple emails that said
that
they can't get through. I dialed there because it's not showing one line where someone's calling.
No, that never happens.
No way that people aren't calling for this topic.
It's such a controversial topic. We always get calls about the dumbest things.
Yeah,
the
phone
lines lit up,
always ringing for some reason.
Clearly, we have a telecommunications issue, which will test how a talk show operates.
Yeah, good. Well, that'll
test my patience.
I'll go hand in hand with our excellent internet usage this week and the fine cable television.
Let me just tell you, if anyone's listening that is in the inner circle, if you will, of this show, in terms of management or the technical side that actually take care of things for us, it's imperative for the lifeblood of this program that the Burn King does not get rankled. And I'm telling you right now, he's getting rankled. Yeah. And if we have an impatient Burn King,
look out.
There's trouble for you. You don't want that.
Though there's no indication this is an issue with anyone here at this company. It's probably the phone company.
Understood.
I hate them too.
But still, there is a degree of irrationality that could creep in if the Burn King is cranky. Now, to some, you may like that. But you see, if no one can call in, an aggressive, rankled Burn King cannot take his wrath out on you as a caller if they can't call in.
Right.
So that means one Hot Wings, one Eric Zane, Producer Joe, Margaret and Steve are the only outlet. We need to be careful, and we need to step lightly.
Yeah, I want to be target of passive, not aggressive.
Absolutely. So, for the love of all things, please, somehow, these phone lines need to be taken care of. And we have Dumber Than Zane trivia coming up in like 1 hour.
Yeah, we'll just hold a cell phone up to the microphone.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Only this show.
Fine.
Only this show would have these weird nuances that make our world spin in the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. I've never heard about this on Sean Hannity or Howard Stern. Never once.
No, I have never heard another talk show anywhere in America, big or small, that can't use their telephone. I've never heard of that. That's a new one.
Hear that?
Yeah.
There's no dial tone there.
Oh! All I heard was a weird, white noise.
Okay, you have to call our guest line or our hotline. We'll give you the numbers right now, but then you have to promise not to use them after today.
Okay, you have to be famous. And then we will give you those numbers.
Oh, well, that's better then. As long as it's just the lines people would use to call. My desk phone will still work.
What if we just unplug this thing?
Yeah. Power up, power down. I don't know.
Let's try it. It can't hurt it, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe too many people are calling. I don't know. We'll move on to something else
for a minute and plug that
thing back in. Gonna have to.
In.
And that's unfortunate, though, because there were a lot of people who were going to call and weigh in on this topic, and we were kind of scrambling, thinking, why isn't anybody calling?
Yeah.
So
we
apologize for that.
When we were on one station and you threw out a topic and no one called, that just meant you were unpopular, which is very possible. But now that we're on 40 stations, you throw out a topic where you know people will call.
Right.
It's still disconcerting.
Several military
but also
bases in the audience.
Yeah, really confusing. So many veterans who have served and people who are serving, men and women.
Let's see if it works now.
Many ugly women who want to be on the front line.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
This might be the whitest band in the history of the music industry.
Yeah.
We're rough. Did you just say you're rough?
Yeah, they were, man.
To me, it's absolutely, as a culture, one of the most unbelievable upsets that this band, this group, got to be as big as they did, and are still.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Intern Margaret, do you have any idea who this is?
New Kids on the Block?
Oh, boo that you know that. Even though you did say it with a question.
By the way, this hour of the show brought to you by H&R Block. Come see what a difference our tax expertise can make.
Hanging tough.
Man.
You've done nothing tough ever.
All the women in our school thought these guys were the dreamiest dudes ever.
Oh, everybody did. Holy cow, man. Every woman from the age of about 8 to 40 in that era loved these guys. And there was a guy for everyone. Every personality type. I love Joey.
There was a time when I thought...
Is that the one with Fatone?
No.
This group?
No, that was...
That was another white guy group?
Right?
Yeah, I don't know if it was Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, but it was 20 years later.
There's more than 3.
Oh, way more than 3.
New Kids on the Block were the...
Is this Wahlberg?
Basically the originators of the white boy band type deal in the mid-'80s.
Was it?
Wahlberg was in
Wahlberg was in
it.
So you're telling me Mark Wahlberg
No, Donnie Wahlberg.
You're really struggling with the membership on this.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these guys. What was Mark Wahlberg in?
He was Marky Mark.
He was Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch.
Unbelievable, man.
So he was his own. He did his own deal. Donnie Wahlberg.
I'm glad I'm having a hard time with it.
But Donnie Wahlberg was in The Sixth Sense.
Wait! Bruce Willis was in Backstreet Degrees?
I don't know what's real and what's not. I don't...
Wait, New Kids in O-Town. What's that?
Who are these black kids on the block? They're getting together, right?
So they're back doing some stupid tour, and they were on The View. And the people on The View are just... they're all about it, so here they are breaking down.
We've been touring for the last few years, but we've been touring with Backstreet Boys as part of NKOTBSP.
Yeah. Some people might not know this, but they're originally from Boston.
I don't know, man, and can't be sure.
I know, it's hard to tell.
And the audience at The View, I mean, it was 98% chicks, but, you know, you see a lot of double pleats and knits and extra elastic waistbands in that crowd.
We're going out this tour. We're going to be headlining a tour alone. When I say alone, I mean New Kids are going to be performing on stage, just us. We've been performing as
no band, just singing.
Part of NKOTBSP, but we are going to bring a few guests to be on the tour with us. And the first group has not performed together. It's going to be their first tour in 10 years. It's Nick, Drew, Justin, and Jack.
All right. I don't even know who that is. The clip got cut off. Which one is that? Is that 98 Degrees?
Yeah. Nick Lachey, Drew Lachey, and then whoever else is in 98 Degrees.
Okay. I can only handle that for about 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's impressive. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Like it should be going on around a burning trash can on a street corner so you could walk by on the way to get coffee and go, well, that was a nice distraction from the mundane day I have.
Yes. Or either that as like a music bed for like a Volkswagen commercial.
Yeah.
See, I actually liked Boys to Men. I thought those guys were really good singers. The other guys, I wasn't sure if they could sing, but these guys, when they came out, with Motown Philly and then End of the Road and all that, I'm like, these guys are good,
know this stuff, man. You are.
Yeah, that's our class song. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
That's when I was still into, I was way into classic rock, but I was still pretty current on pop music, in the 90s. It's not really the case anymore, but yeah, I liked Boys to Men. I thought they were
okay. So
really
would you
good.
go see this?
Would I go see this? No.
No.
How do I
sing it, man? Listen to this guy. Now, this is Boys to Men.
This is Boys to Men.
These are black guys.
These are black guys.
This played at my prom and graduation.
These guys should be singing this perfect.
The good time that made us.
Did you dance slow to this, Rebeer?
Probably by myself.
No, come on now.
Yeah. With
no, you didn't.
Arms wrapped around.
Did you have a high school girlfriend?
Not really, no.
No?
No, I was a loser.
What was your problem? Because I had a problem, too. I was really scared of chicks. I was terrified. At the dance, if this song played, oh, my God. To have to go up to a girl and talk to her was torture.
Here's what would happen at mine. I would sit next to a girl that I thought I was better than. Not, but I thought I was. And look at girls that were better than me and think, why won't she like me? She must be a lesbian.
Yeah.
Wow.
She probably wants to get knocked up by a 24-year-old. That's her problem. You want to dance? No, I'm waiting for her.
I never knew what to say, and I couldn't. I was just petrified.
No, I would only ask girls to dance that I knew that they wouldn't say no, because I was already friends with them or something. It was like friends.
Like they'd be guilted into doing it?
Yeah, well
I guess I have to.
You'd the slow song would come on, and I'd always kind of wait for a second and go, okay, no one else is going to ask them. Okay, I think I'm good, because they're going to want to dance, and nobody else is going. And you just walk out and go, want to dance?
Yeah.
Well, hang out by the bathroom and get somebody who walks out who wasn't there when the song started. Hey, you want to dance? I like the song.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
I've told this story. I've told this story before, and I have to be careful when I tell it now. And this is a story where when it happened, I didn't realize, and it wasn't until I got older that I looked back on this moment and went, "Whoa, that was quite an exchange." And I can't say this person's name, and I mean, typically I just blurt it out, but I'm actually going to be very careful not to say who it is, because I know this person can hear the show.
Uh-oh.
And lives like within the listening audience. And so I asked her to dance. She was actually a girlfriend, and we were like going out at the time.
Yeah.
And and we're dancing, and we hadn't been going together for very long. And I swear on a stack of Bibles, this is like 7th grade, and we're dancing to, I don't know, Journey or something, busting out Don't Stop Believin' or something like that. I don't know. And we're dancing real slow. And then I noticed something wasn't right. There was something not right. There was some sensory thing happening that I wasn't cool with. Something was wrong, and I'm looking around.
You felt her boner.
And I'm looking.
No, he said he didn't enjoy it.
Oh, that's right.
Said it made him uncomfortable.
Okay. So and then I pull her close, and I felt her penis. It was squishy. So I'm looking around and going, what the, is it? Why, is that me? What is going on? And then as I'm having this perplexed moment. I'm not even looking at her. I'm not looking at her zits. And I hear, do I smell like fish?
Oh, you can't. If you have to ask, the answer is yes.
Now look. Yeah, no, that was the exact quote. Do I smell like fish? Oh. Now, when at that age, the things I know as 42-year-old Eric, you're not aware of when you're a child, young person. Thank God. And she did. She did bad. Something smelled awful. It wasn't what you're thinking though, because I said no, but I did. I said no, and she goes, oh, and she must have sensed it because she said, oh, I just had well, at least this is what she said. I just had McDonald's and I
ate it with my second mouth.
I think she. I use it as an air freshener on my hoo-ha. What? Do I smell like fish? You can watch me smoke out of that mouth too.
What happened? I gotta know.
Nothing. I ended the conversation. I don't know. It smells good to me. I feel like eating something. And so that was that. That was my dance. We did not dance the Boys to Men. It was well before their time.
Was that the last time you ever saw her?
No, we actually we got along pretty well actually.
Did she smell like fish? Did she always smell like McDonald's?
We're olive clothes
specific food
made
item.
out of filet-o-fish wrappers.
Was she a habitual McDonald's eater?
How long did you and Susie Seabass date?
There were no other indicators that she smelled like fish.
Except for the pelicans.
I didn't, no, we had no other issues.
She smells like fish. She smells like fish.
To be honest, when there's like these jokes about women, like, oh, she smells like fish, and we know that
this is
smell
her.
Can come
she was on Tyra.
From your private area.
That's true. And for me, it is.
Yeah, she had a revelation that
she
was
went
her.
On
Tyra.
Yep. At least she got some press out of it. That's pretty good. Otherwise, that'd be embarrassing. On the way next, speaking of embarrassing, high school wrestling.
Oh, my gosh.
Stop putting things in there.
Can you believe this?
Yes.
What a nightmare. What an This is unbelievable. There's a lot of things that are unbelievable about this story.
Hello?
Hi, is this Pat?
Yes.
Hi, Pat. Pat Nipple?
It's Nipple, yes.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
We were calling about your license plate and how unfair it is that you're not allowed to keep that.
Oh, I got it back.
You did! Way to go, Mrs. Nipple.
Nipple.
Right, that's what I said.
You didn't, but anyhow.
Sorry.
Now, back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Well, Mrs. Nipple, we can't thank you enough for the time.
I think this is a crazy call.
What?
Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. It's the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane, Joe and Steve here. Our phones are not working, so you can try to call us, but that would be a big waste of your time. I assume there's still no dial tone. There's not. You can send emails, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. If you follow us on Twitter, you can tweet us at FBHW or comment on Facebook as well.
I think we'd say you can just tweet, though. You know how they say it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're starting to really get involved with Twitter.
Yeah, we're not the
So
best.
if you were to say you can tweet us, some might not want to because we said it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Isn't
is
that how
shocking.
it works, though? Someone sends something directly to you?
I think they just say tweet. You can tweet at...
Yeah, maybe.
I think. Well, that's how I've heard it.
You're probably right.
I'm just saying. I don't want to screw this up.
Steve? You're our Twitter expert.
Yeah, help us with the vernacular.
He's not on Twitter. He's not He's not down. Facebook and eBay are his things.
Yeah.
Those are his expertise.
That's right. eBay Blue Star seller.
Yeah. As you can see.
There's no. You're right. I don't see an award for Twitter in there.
No award for Twitter yet. I'll jump on board a year late, like I do with everything else.
Well, yeah, but you're already a year late. That's the. Well, I mean, I was a year late.
Are you busy getting your MySpace off the ground?
MySpace is coming back, I heard.
Yeah,
it is.
That's the word.
What? Yeah. Coming back because it's done what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotten more like Facebook?
Everyone's talking about MySpace's big revival.
No,
the new MySpace looks awesome.
What?
It looks
is
so
it
sweet.
Functionally better? Can you do things that make it
I've only seen that you can't actually go on new MySpace. There's only a promo video.
Don't tell me what I can't do, Joe.
So new MySpace is just out of reach?
Yes.
It's like a petting zoo with unicorns?
It is.
So are you waiting for the day that
I am.
new
I'm
MySpace
excited.
is available and you're going to go on and you're going to start sending people requests? Hey, join me on MySpace.
Yeah.
You're going to leave Facebook behind?
Probably not.
My wife has this crazy, unnatural hatred for Twitter, and I don't think she understands what she's missing, Steve. She goes, I hate that thing. I hate it. I go, why? She goes, well, it just sucks. It's stupid. I go, well, have you been? I mean, are you aware of how this works? Are you aware of what you can actually tailor who you want? Like, let's say you're a fan of Facebooking your iPod, or no, let's say you're a fan of any hobby that you have. You can sign up for those and just only see about those topics, whether it be cats, this radio show, and the country of England, or any celebrity that you want. That can be exactly what she doesn't know. No, I hate it. I go, well,
really strange.
No, there's nothing to hate. It's all stuff you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the hatred would come from. I mean, for me personally, I didn't find it interesting to join earlier. Like, the way I looked at it, I go, I just don't need that. But I certainly didn't hate it. I wasn't against it. I just didn't think it mattered.
Time to put my foot down against the people from Twitter.
But
trying to give me things I'm curious about.
Well, it's perfect because this is perfect for her because can be nosy and tap into the people that she wants to tap into.
Yeah.
And they don't even know she's being nosy, really.
No, they want you to follow
them. You're
them.
Following them, but a lot of times people that just blurt stuff out on Twitter. It's very revealing to the people you want to hear from.
Well, maybe you should stop trying to convert her. You might lose her forever if she finds out the benefits of Twitter.
She won't. She won't, though. I mean, I'm not so much trying to convert her. I'm just annoyed that she doesn't see that it's perfect for her.
How can you be mad at something that you clearly don't quite understand?
You're not getting what this is all about.
It's like it would be like you hating shoes.
Yeah.
Something that's convenient and useful.
Jesus. Just because you can't play Ruzzle on on the damn thing.
I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt.
I don't know if it seems a little
in the butt.
Little silly.
What in the butt. I said what.
Once again, another bad moment for high school wrestling.
I said what in the butt.
9 high school wrestlers arrested for hazing. A hazing incident that involved, the most heinous of things that could possibly happen. Do you have the details on this story?
A high school outside of Tucson, Arizona. 9 wrestlers have been charged with kidnapping and aggravated assault in connection with an apparent hazing incident last week, in which they pulled off this in front of a locker room full of witnesses. The victim, not on the wrestling team, surrounded by 7 to 10 students, according to complaints filed in the court. The victim forced to the ground, forcibly held down by 4 individuals, pants and underwear removed forcibly. One student exposed himself to the victim and committed a lewd act. The assault lasted 2 to 5 minutes. The victim taunted by the entire group. Kidnapping charges stem from the fact that the freshman victim was bound or restrained. The lewd act included and involved digital penetration.
So fingers. That's what happened. That's lewd act is too sanitized of a terminology.
Strangely,
the kid was sodomized.
The police declined to charge the students with sexual assault because the attack wasn't sexual in nature.
Yes, it was sexual.
I don't get that. I don't understand that. I mean, essentially, just because it was a finger and not genitals, you're still forcibly entering another human being, which to me is some sort of rape. If you're being held down and your pants are ripped off of you, and then something is inserted into you, I don't understand how that doesn't fall into a sexual assault category.
Yeah. If that were a woman, it would.
Oh,
hell
my
yeah,
God.
And it should. And it should.
It should for anyone.
It should be for anyone.
I mean, regardless of gender. I mean, you shouldn't be forced to be...
What is going on here? What is going on here with the fact that this has taken place this way? The way it's described, the kid was forcibly held down. These athletes yank the kid's pants off and put their fingers in his butt. What?
Why is it always wrestling?
I don't know, man.
But not exclusively. There's hazing in other situations, but boy, does it seem like...
Wow. No, but it still remains, the tougher the sport, the bigger the meathead, the more homoerotic and weird it is.
They should be imprisoned for a lengthy amount of time. They should be, since they're juveniles, held in juvenile detention until they are 18, and then they should be locked away for the remainder of the time that a judge says so. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You said it's somewhere. It's near Tucson? Yeah, just outside of Tucson is where this happened.
I don't know how this continues to happen, and I don't understand. I mean, I saw people get bullied. Hell, I got bullied, and I know I bullied other people, but it was mostly verbal that was directed towards me and to other people. But I can't think of a situation where anyone at our school that I know of had something like that happen. So
that's what I always wonder about. If anything like this happened at the school I went to, and it was an era where nobody would say anything.
A little bit
where
different.
It was just, well, that's just what happens.
But do you remember the old talk show Phil Donahue?
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was there doing it before Oprah and Ricky Lake and all of that, and he started out doing pretty serious stuff, and then as time went on, he became more BS. But at some point during the transition, I remember being homesick from school, and he had his talk show on, and he had a young man who I think was 13 or 14. And even as a kid, I thought this was highly inappropriate. He had been attacked by a bunch of bullies at his school. I don't know if they were a wrestling team or a football team or just some kids that were bigger than him. They held him down, pulled down his pants, and then used a plunger on him. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't believe that Donahue did this, that the kid's parents agreed to it. But the kid's out on stage, sitting alone on a high stool as Donahue paces back and forth and asks him questions, and then makes him get on the floor to show the audience the posture that he was in.
Who gets in your butt?
That was
when that happened.
Wow.
Look,
who signs off on that?
Yeah. Okay, so you have these 9 kids arrested. They had to at some point say, or even maybe just right at that moment say, hey, let's get Roy, the freshman.
Yeah.
Rip his pants off, and you, or whoever, take your finger and put it right there.
Ooh, let me do it.
Do it,
I'm your
man.
guy.
There wasn't one guy there that went, wait a minute, man. Do you realize what you're saying? Not one of them?
That's that mob mentality.
Yeah, but it's a finger in the butt.
Where the ones who are against it are afraid to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, I get the mob mentality of hazing in terms
pushing
of
and
shoving, just being mean, duct taping somebody to a locker,
maybe punching the arm when he's not looking, Charlie horse.
I mean, I get that. I'm not saying that's right or appropriate either, but I get that kind of, just dumb juvenile behavior. But when it crosses over into, butts,
deviant sex act.
Boy, man,
criminal.
I don't get that. And obviously I was never involved in a culture like that. I mean, we had what I guess would be termed as hazing in the marching band and in cross country too, but wasn't really the same. I mean, it was a little bit less heady.
There should be a study about what we've talked about, the more quote unquote meathead sports and the incidence of these things occurring.
I think I really think it is a higher testosterone type of environment that is more primal and leads these guys. It's basically like showing dominance in the animal kingdom. Like when one dog humps the other one. Doesn't mean that they're necessarily gay, but they're trying to show everybody that they're the toughest guy in the pack.
Yeah.
I think it's because, I don't know, maybe the people that are drawn to these things are just a little bit more lunk-headed than the rest of us.
Well, that's a fact.
Occasionally you get a diamond in the rough, a guy who not only is tough but also has, some kind of cerebrum that works.
My gosh. This is...
Can you imagine finding out that your son was part of that assault?
That would be so...
Or was the victim?
Well, yeah, obviously that's terrible.
I don't know. I really don't know how in a case like that, now that I'm a father and I think about that, like in the future, like, God, if this was my son. You really have to show some amazing restraint. I wouldn't want to kill these kids, but I would want to physically harm them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I need to know why it has transpired the way it has with the lack of, with the way those charges have laid out. That seems unbelievable in this incident. Enough with the boys will be boys thing.
Which is how it used to be chalked up, yeah.
Yeah, which is amazing. Yeah,
well, I think you're getting a little bit of that here because of the...
You'll get charges against a first grader because they brought a butter knife to school.
Yeah.
And yet, these guys, to me, that
charged, but not charged with sexual assault.
Yeah, you should be charged with whatever the maximum is, and maybe this is, but it shouldn't be. I don't know how that wouldn't be considered a sexual assault. They didn't punch the guy in the arm until it was real bruised.
I'm guessing that the cops will be the prosecutor will be under some real scrutiny, man. This is so crazy.
In the Free Beer and Hot Wings report next, there was a woman who was at the state capitol of South Carolina as part of a peaceful gun protest. And she had a run-in with a camera person. Well, a police officer, then a camera person.
Well, whoever would encounter her had a run-in.
You'll want to hear her unique way for dealing with the press. She's going to be a great press agent for someone. Also, some of the teasers for Manti Te'o from the Katie Couric interview that comes up. Yep. Dumber Than Zane Trivia comes up in about 20 minutes. Horrible weather can severely impact your ability to get to the office. Or maybe you're done with your day and you go home and then you need something that's only available at work. Road closures, major traffic, all sorts of troubles. But just because you can't make it back into the office doesn't mean that business stops. That's why we highly recommend Go to My PC by Citrix. You can access your entire office computer from home, so you don't have to risk a dangerous commute or worry about falling short on a project. We use it all the time. Our best of show on the weekends, programmed almost entirely using Go to My PC.
Go to My PC is the secure remote access tool that allows you to connect to your office computer from any other computer or mobile device. So as Free Beer mentioned, no matter where you are, you can get a hold of all your programs and stuff. You can access all your work files, the network from wherever you are, whenever you need to. Be prepared. Set up Go to My PC today. It takes just a few minutes. It's a breeze to use, and then you'll be ready to go when you need it.
This is just cool. All right, this is what we want you to do. We want you to try this out for free and then say, you look at it and say, well, I can definitely utilize this in my day-to-day operations of how I do my business. It's going to make your life easier. Work is going to be easier. And it's just neat. Try Go to My PC free today with a special 45-day free trial just for our listeners. You'll really be able to get in tune with how this works in that amount of time. And then we believe you won't be able to live without it. Download the free app to your mobile device. Then visit gotomypc.com, click the Try It Free button, and enter the promo code FREEBEER. There you go.
Free Beer and Hot Wings report on
for fear.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Should go squarely right in the middle of his hole. Right in the middle of it. Find the asshole. That's where that knuckle goes. Quarterback puts the knuckle of his finger in the center of the asshole.
Jim Harbaugh at a coach's clinic showing the other coaches how the center to quarterback exchange goes, and that's how he described it.
Pretty specific. Before we get to the Free Beer and Hot Wings report, this email, subject line, cool harassment at school. By the way, our phone lines remain down, so if you try to call, it's only an episode of frustration for you, so don't bother yet. This email. When I was in 7th grade, every single day at the end of the day when we got on the bus, there was a girl who had gym for the last period of the day. She was one of the popular girls, and everybody knew her. She had a pretty smoking bod.
Pretty smoking bod.
I assume that means for 7th grade.
Yeah.
She would get on the bus each day wearing her gym clothes, short shorts, cut-off T-shirt, circa 1990-91. She would then proceed to go around and grind on all the guys in the back of the bus and lift up her shirt and put her boobs in your face.
Yes, facial.
That would have been a 7th grade dream.
One of the days she was doing it to one of the kids who wasn't so popular. She shoved graham crackers in her mouth and chewed on them and sucked on them for about a minute, and then right when he was really excited, she spit them all over his face.
Is it possible she's a...
Wow.
We were sexually harassed every single day on the way home from school that year, but I don't think anybody really cared. This brings about several questions.
Wow, I really want to know what happened to that girl.
Yeah.
I'll bet
tell you
she's
what
got
happened
it
to her.
Together.
She's actually addicted to getting abortions. Got pregnant by nearly every boy there.
That's what happened to her.
I'm not sure that bus had one of those big mirrors for the bus driver. I don't know. I'm just saying that maybe one of the 180 school days you should have looked up and seen 7th grade prostitute blowing graham cracker chunks and worse on the bus.
Oh, hell, those bus drivers don't care. Yeah. Our bus driver I'm not even sure they really cared that much about getting us home safe. I think they just wanted to keep their job.
The extent of Irma Doan's discipline on our bus was to jam the brakes if you stood up too early and then yell in towards the mirror, "You're acting like a bunch of crazy Indians!"
Yeah.
Then slowly go.
This is how you do it.
You going to jail?
Yeah, our bus driver would routinely slam on the brakes if you were not sitting in your seat to teach you a lesson.
You want to be a man? I'm going to treat you like a man.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
So, obviously, there's gun debates going on at local levels and national levels all around the country. And there was I guess you'd call it a protest, more like a rally, I would say, at the state capitol in South Carolina. And a woman there was in an argument with a police officer. She was upset that she wasn't allowed to speak at the rally. And so as she's arguing with an officer, the camera from one of the TV stations there started filming her, and you'll hear what happened then.
Basically the equivalent of when somebody busts out a cell phone and records when someone's acting like an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, a peaceful rally in South Carolina about gun control.
News coverage about this.
Turned pretty ugly.
Yeah, it started when a woman who was not part of the rally and therefore wasn't allowed to speak started arguing with the police officer. She then turned her attention to the TV news photographer.
All I want to do is speak.
Okay, well, you speaking now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to arrest me?
No.
Oh, good. Thank you very much. That's what he wants. Why don't you drop dead, girl? You doing a good job?
Good job. She's talking to the camera person.
Yeah, the first thing she said to the camera person was, "Why don't you drop dead, girl?"
Why don't you drop dead, girl?
You want to be a man? I'm going to treat you like a man.
You doing a good job?
And she's spitting on the front of the camera.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting a nice shot, aren't you? Here.
Now, look,
we're not sure what she was trying.
She said, "Here, you're getting a nice shot, aren't you?" And then she reaches into the front of her pants, and then they went away, and they didn't show next. So
yeah, we have three theories about what she was going to pull out. Two of them were mine. One was Joe's. Mine was she was going to give the finger, like, oh, here, I got something for you, and then give the finger, or an actual gun. Or, Joe, a third option?
Oh, her wiener.
Yeah. I think that's probably it.
Oh, yeah. I think a big one.
Yeah.
It's huge.
A big flopper. It's got like a knuckle on it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a big floppy wiener.
That's a Shane Diesel right there.
Mm-hmm. Joe, can you do your impression of that lady?
Shane Diesel, another one of those movie stars that you reference from time to time, along with Mandingo. Perhaps?
Yes.
Shane Diesel is another one of the
You're pretty well versed in male porn actors.
Black.
Oh,
Male.
black. Just the guys with massive ones.
Yeah.
So, are there any others, Joe, besides Mandingo and Shane Diesel that we need to be aware of?
Yeah, there's Lexington Steel.
Okay.
All right.
Lexington Steel, Shane Diesel, and
I think that's.
Mandingo.
I can only think of those three.
Are these some of the actors that you see on like PunishTube.com?
No, these are normal ones.
No. They're just large men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Marcus, he's pretty big.
Yep.
Well, he must be.
Mr. Marcus is.
Mr. Marcus.
You have quite a
Lexington Steel, Mandingo, and
you have an encyclopedic knowledge about this.
Yeah. Like Dagwood.
Yeah, you and Dagwood can.
Yeah.
He can talk about the chicks, and you can talk about the dudes.
Both members of the Penis of the Month Club. Each month you get a plaster cast delivered to your home.
You're like the way I used to. You remember my big obsession with penises before? Well, it's just a little less now.
I was going to say before.
I disagree.
Yesterday you were talking about cloned wieners on a buffet.
That's true. Yeah, but do you remember how like every time I would see someone large in the media, the first thing I'd say was, I wonder how big that guy's crank is.
I could see his penis.
Yeah, you really wanted to see Yao Ming's
and I still
dong.
do. I still do. It's just that
you went so far as to call the hotel of the Houston Rockets when Yao Ming played there and ask for one of the foreign players because they're not smart enough to use a fake name, and you talked to a former player named Boston Knockbar.
Yep.
So you could ask him how big Yao Ming's wiener was.
And I'm still amazed by that.
Yeah.
Gargantuan men and their penises.
Did he say it was big?
I don't recall what he said.
He was confused by the phone call.
Yeah, I don't think he ever
Because he's
really...
got one thing for and one against.
Yeah.
Coin toss.
I'm not. I don't remember. But you're right there too, Joe. Big black ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
But I would
That's
never
your
look
thing.
at them at the Y on Real People.
Oh, but that was, dude. I couldn't help it, man. I came around that. It was in Springfield. That old YMCA they have downtown. I mean, this is the oldest YMCA in America.
It is. It's made of dirt.
It is.
It's awful.
No, it's fine. I think it's... No, I'm not going to go that far. I think the YMCA itself is okay. It's just really old. And
really
it
old.
Smells old. It looks old. And, it's got old smell. And they're walking around, going to the shower, and that guy did not expect me to be there. And I startled him so much that he shuddered, and his shudder on the wet floor with his bare feet, he slipped. And when he slipped, he went, whoa. And he slipped, and at that...
His wang hit his nipple.
Right. Well, no. When
his wang cushioned the head blow into the locker.
When he did slide across the ground, his joint did a crazy sway. I couldn't believe the size.
It swept your leg.
It was huge. And boy, was it prominent, man. I was like, wow, that guy, I couldn't... Imagine a big, giant black wang flying in front of your face.
I would have to imagine it. You got to live it.
Yeah, you're living the dream.
Yep. Your fantasy became reality that day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was pristine.
Was it as good as the first time?
It was perfect. Excellent. So anyway, where were we?
Well, in theory, we were going to get to...
I don't know.
What happened? It's like, this is one of those moments like when you're driving down the interstate and you realize you haven't been paying attention for like 5 minutes.
You're at your house, but you don't remember getting there.
Yeah. All I can think of is penis right now.
Oh, that woman had one.
Yeah. Is that how we got there? Is
Yeah.
that how we got to the guy at the Springfield Y's penis?
Yeah.
Was that chick's got the same penis?
Yeah. Yeah. Bigger and whiter.
She does.
Oh, you're getting a nice shot, aren't you? Here. Why don't you drop dead, girl?
Sage advice.
Joe, do the impression of her spitting on the camera for us.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
You did it.
You doing a good job?
You're getting better.
Oh, I hate that.
You're getting better, though, Joe.
We didn't. Steve, will you see if you can find video of that? Just do a Google search for woman with penis mad about guns.
Yeah. How do you spell?
3 P's, 4 S's, 1 T. Up Up next, it's Dumber Than Zane Trivia. Jason from South Carolina is going to play. Let's see if the phones are working. That's the hotline. We can at least. Well, that sounded a little weird, though.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Regular line's still broken. There was some weird poppy sounds going on during the break there, so I thought.
Yeah, I heard that too. It's hard to do a talk show.
I was getting excited
when the listeners they can't call in.
Yeah, earlier when we were talking about women on the front line,
that was a big hot button issue.
We get a billion emails, and we got one smart ass who's super pissed. Yeah, you guys shouldn't talk about it. You've never served. I tried to call, but you wouldn't take my call. No, shut up, dummy. We wanted you to call. Also, by the way, we said, hey, this is not something we've ever done, but this is what we think it would be like.
We were hoping that he would have called in, so then his point of view would have been able to have been shared.
Yeah, he missed that point. On the way next, Dumber Than Zane Trivia. We believe we'll be able to get our contestant on the phone for that.
Like one of the guest lines or something.
You're wise.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
So there's a fight that we put on freebeerandhotwings.com. The big hockey brawl, the bench clearing brawl that everybody was talking about between the two American League teams, the Rockford Ice Hogs and the Grand Rapids Griffins.
Yeah.
It was in Rockford. Yeah. I wish it was in Grand Rapids because then I would have been front and center to see it.
Yeah.
But it was a bench clearing brawl. Everybody was fighting, and even the goalies. And the Griffins goalie is a young goalie, smaller than the Rockford goalie. He's about 20, named Peter Mrazek, a European goalie. Probably not a lot of experience fighting.
Didn't
so
seem
it
like
seemed. Well, Mrazek, he saved the day for the Griffins yesterday in this win, but prior to the game, he took off his mask for the anthem, and wow, two big, gigantic black eyes.
Really?
I mean, he got smashed. The guy who was hitting him, the other goalie for Rockford, broke his hand. He's out. He broke his hand on a guy's face.
I guess Mrazek won then.
He did. And he played last night and hung in there, and they won. So good for them.
Dumber Than Zane Trivia, $1,200 in the line from Cat Footwear, catfootwear.com. Jason, our contestant, after winning the drawing yesterday, already has a new pair of shoes or boots from Cat Footwear that will be his. Jason, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Good morning. Love the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Jason lives in Nashville, listens on 102.9 The Buzz. Hot Wings has him on GoToMeeting.
Nice. Yep. I love that, man. Be able to just check him out as he's doing his thing.
Remember that cheater started all this?
Yep.
Everybody's still mad at that guy.
I'm still mad at that guy.
Jason, do you have children? You married?
Yes, married, 3 kids.
3 kids?
Daughter, 2 sons.
All right. How old?
9, and the boys are 15 and 16.
Wow. Jason is a quality control engineer at a supplement business, right?
Didn't they say vitamins? Isn't that what you said?
Oh, no, I'm just a technician. And
okay.
It's a sports nutrition place. Supplement.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, Jason, would you call odd or even as Hot Wings rolls a die so we can see who's going to go first?
Even, please.
All right. It's a 3. Odd.
Okay. I'll go second.
Zane will go second. Jason will go first. Jason predicted a 5-2 victory yesterday. Stand by that, Jason?
Yeah, I might have been a little overexcited.
Wow. Come on.
Okay. All right. Well, that happens.
I'm confident, but Zane's really smart.
No, dude, come on.
Now you're condescending.
What are you doing?
He's taking that Lou Holtz approach. Well, Gardner-Webb's a tough team. I don't know how we'll even be able to be on the field with them.
I'm not going to fall for that. I know I'm dumb, all right? You don't need to...
No, Zane, no. Don't sell yourself short, man. You're a very smart man.
Every time you get a question right, you get a point. Get one wrong, your opponent has a chance to steal. First one to 5 wins. Zane has last at bat, so if Jason gets to 5 and Zane has 4, he'd have a chance to steal the game.
Do I need to don my blindfold?
Please do. There you go.
Okay.
So we know you're not looking up answers.
I still can't believe we have to do this.
I know.
You're right. That's so crazy.
Jason, you're up first. Which type of glass became highly popular as an art form during the medieval period?
Stained glass?
Stained glass is correct. Eric Zane, how many institutions make up the Ivy League?
Boy. I'm not going to say them out loud for fear that I'll tip him off when I get this wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe talk to Hot Wings about his... Because this might take me a second.
How many institutions make up the Ivy League? $1,200 in the line. For new listeners, every time Zane wins, the jackpot goes up by $400. If Jason wins, it'll start over at $400 next week. You could be a contestant. We give people a chance to get qualified throughout the week, theoretically, when we remember. Eric Zane. How many institutions make up the Ivy League?
Shout your answer out.
Eight.
Correct. We're tied at 1.
I could only list 6, but that just didn't seem like enough. I listed Brown, Yale, Harvard, Penn, Princeton, and Dartmouth.
I think Cornell would fall in there, correct?
I think.
And maybe MIT? Is that an Ivy League?
No, I don't think so.
So that was a guess.
Yale, Harvard, Penn, Princeton, Brown, Columbia.
Okay, I didn't have that.
Dartmouth.
And maybe Cornell.
Maybe Cornell.
I think Cornell.
Yeah, maybe. All right, Jason, your question. We're tied at 1.
All right.
In beauty salon circles, what is the name for transparent painted nails with white tips?
Okay, one more time, please.
In beauty salon circles, what is the name for transparent painted nails with white tips?
Joe, you know anything about white tip?
The most.
Slightly transparent.
Slightly transparent. White tips. The
white tip.
Yeah.
French.
Is that
your answer?
Yes.
Howings, what do you think of that? Do you know the answer, Howings?
I do know the answer to it, yes. I do too.
French manicure. French.
Howings, what do you think's going on there? Are you watching Jason and his weird bobblehead?
I am.
Is that throwing you off, or is it making you think something's weird?
That is correct.
Make him take the blindfold off. Look into his eyes.
Look, Joe, you want us to be able to look into his eyes?
I want to see if he's looking around. He has to look right into the camera.
Okay.
Okay, you got it, Joe.
That's unnerving.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Eric Zane, what Italian appetizer consists of bread spread with garlic, olive oil, and tomatoes?
Bruschetta.
Correct. Tied at 2. Jason, which country covers 11.5% of the world's total landmass?
Russia.
Correct. 3-2.
Ripping along.
Eric Zane, which French colony was purchased by the United States in 1803 at a cost of 4 cents per acre?
Again, please?
Which French colony was purchased by the United States in 1803 at a cost of 4 cents per acre?
I believe that is Louisiana.
Correct. We're tied at 3.
The great state of Louisiana.
Jason, a little harder here. Which is the largest nerve in the human body?
Okay.
Largest nerve in the human body. Sciatic nerve?
Correct. 4-3. Massive fist pumps from Jason in Nashville. Eric Zane, big question.
He's feeling it, man.
Which 1929 novel describes the World War I experiences of the young Paul Baumer and his comrades?
Again, please?
Which 1929 novel describes the World War I experiences of the young Paul Baumer and his comrades? If you get this, we're tied at 4. If you miss it and Jason gets it, the game is over and he wins $1,200 from Cat Footwear.
I know this, but I'm having a difficult time piecing the title together. I had to read this in my literature class. I believe. War novel.
It's a big question. Which 1929 novel describes the World War I experiences of the young Paul Baumer and his comrades?
I got it. Along the waterfront.
That is incorrect.
Okay, I know what happened then. I know what happened there.
Jason, you could steal it.
I know what happened.
Correct answer wins you the game, wins you $1,200 from Cat Footwear at catfootwear.com. Do it!
I'm going to have to ask you to repeat the question one more time.
Which 1929 novel describes the World War I experiences of the young Paul Baumer and his comrades?
Is it Where Eagles Dare?
That is incorrect. Zane had sort of the right cadence, the right idea, sort of. All is quiet on the Western Front.
That's the thing.
You combine that with On the Waterfront, which is a movie from the 50s, I think.
About a boxer? That could have been a contender. Is that it?
I think that's On the Waterfront, yeah.
What was it called again?
All is quiet on the Western Front. I, too, had to read that for a class.
Book. That's when I learned about trench warfare.
Yeah. Jason, your question.
Son of a gun.
All right.
You could still win with this. Miss it. If Zane steals and then gets his own question, you'll have lost. Which American president founded the National Aeronautics and Space Administration in 1958? For the win, Jason in Nashville, listening on 102.9 The Buzz.
Eisenhower.
Mm-hmm. You've just won $1,200 from Cat.
Oh, yeah! Woo! All right!
Did you rip off your blindfold? Did you do it?
No, he's still on. Now he did.
There he did. There it is.
Proudly wearing his Nashville Preds jersey.
He got his Preds jersey on and everything. Give us give us your fang fingers.
Oh, here we go.
I hate that. That's so gay. You are the dorkiest dork ever.
Yeah.
Jason, congratulations. $1,200 and the new shoes or boots from Cat Footwear. Well done. Good job.
I can't believe it. Thank you, guys.
You bet, buddy. Hold on.
Thank you, man.
Whatever. He said 5-2 and he beat you 5-3.
Wow.
But that was a close game. That could have gone either way.
Yeah.
All right. Man. Up next, genetic traits. Things that you have and what they distinguish about you compared to someone else who doesn't. If you've got short fingers, red hair, eyes too close together, actual science. Okay, not the eyes one, but the other ones.
Well, we already know
are actual examples.
That means that you were a FAS kid.
Yeah.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Spectacular group of men. You go find them, you throw your arms around them, you give them a big kiss on the mouth if you're a girl.
Now, back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane, your three hosts. Joe and Steve here. Wait, I think our phones might be working again.
I
think we're back on board. All right, call in if you want to comment on anything we talked about the last 2.5 hours.
It's like random. It'll be like radio graffiti with Kevin Wall.
We've got your iShow set on shuffle.
You call up, say one thing and one thing only.
Wall-to-wall sports.
Remember that guy?
Ew. Wasn't he on right after Papa Joe Chevalier?
Yeah, and then Papa Joe croaked.
He did.
That was a bummer, man. I used to listen to Papa Joe's show all the time.
That was the beginning, for me, where I lived, of sports talk radio. Live from the One-on-One Sports Network in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada.
I remember the baseball strike from 1994, and Papa Joe Chevalier was a huge baseball guy, and he was so pissed off that he did a baseball card burning. Everybody bring your baseball card. We're going to burn them.
Yeah. And he wanted to be the new commissioner of baseball.
Right.
I believed he was going to get to do it.
So did I.
I was probably a little naive.
And then I remember it was one of those weird deals because this guy, as a sports talk host, was these nationally syndicated guys, so it was like a big deal, you know. And then the weirdest thing happened. His show did not pan out nationally. He lost his syndication, and he showed up at that Saginaw sports talk radio station that Todd Arner worked at, remember? Yeah. I'm sitting there in the studio one day, and Joe Chevalier walks in to do his air shift. I go, what? And I go, really? What the hell is he doing here? Yeah, he works here. He does a show like noon to 3. I go, everything is ruined! Oh, my God. It's over! How did that happen?
That's crazy. You know, that network started, and then ESPN Radio...
1330 or 1440 or one of those dog-ass AM stations up in the thumb.
ESPN Radio took it, became an entity with the fabulous sports babe. Come here, honey. Hoo-ah!
What the hell happened to her? She was also ultra... popular.
I think so.
And then everybody saw her face.
Yeah. They put her on ESPN2, and people went, ugh.
Joe, if you got a barf, look up Fabulous Sports Babe's picture.
Yeah. She's known on the internet as Ipecac Face.
Yeah. It all went south when she put a photo on her brand new website.
Oh, no. Oh, Jesus. If you're not feeling good and you got to get a good amount of puke out of your belly and it just won't pop out, look at her.
She recently returned to the radio in Tampa.
Okay. Wow, looks like she's either got an infectious disease or she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she won Kanicki's face in the lottery when he died.
What a thing to win.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could. It was on eBay.
Wow. Hot.
Okay.
Terrible.
That was crazy and uncalled for, but I don't care.
Yep. That's how it goes. This year when we go and do the broadcast from Radio Row at the Super Bowl, there's like 51 more national sports networks now.
Yeah, I know. CBS.
So that's going to be NBC starting
CBS Sports Network, the NBC deal.
Yahoo Sports, still Fox News or Fox Sports, and obviously ESPN.
Yeah.
Busy. Very busy.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's talk to Levi. Hi, Levi.
Yeah, hello.
One sentence only. What's on your mind?
Hey, I was just calling to let you guys know you were playing Dumber Than Zane trivia, and I can pretty much guess that all you guys are dumber than Zane because you couldn't even get the question right.
What was the problem?
Go ahead. Break it down.
Well, you guys asked what the biggest nerve in the central or in the human body is.
I was going to say something else, but anyway. Okay.
No, so you got your strapes, and those are your biggest nerves in the body.
What? No, I wasn't. I was about spinal cord.
And what is your background that makes you knowledgeable?
I'm a central nervous system doctor here in Spectrum at Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
I work 30BC. That's my suite downtown, right off of Michigan.
Wait a second here.
A lot of information.
What did you say it was? I didn't even recognize what you said.
A strape, STRAPE.
Okay. Weird, man. I've never heard of such a thing.
This question, it literally says, which is the largest nerve in the human body? Turn it over, the sciatic nerve. So, I mean, these cards didn't waste $140,000 on a year of medical school.
It says it's the longest and widest in the human body.
Yeah. It does? That's what the internet says?
Yes.
So it's cards and internet 2, Doctor 1.
Well, somehow I feel that I need to get some more doctors on my side.
I don't think you're a doctor.
I can conference call a bunch of my buddies.
You don't sound like a doctor.
How doctors talk.
Doctors don't talk like this.
Yeah,
you don't
doctors don't
like
have buddies. You have colleagues.
I mean, what? Doctors can't be regular people?
No, you sound like a filthy. You're a filthy Northern Michigan pasty maker.
You just make punchkis, don't you?
Get out of here.
Also, there are no doctors named Levi.
Go make fudge in Charlevoix, you filthy minger pig.
I don't know. The internet and the cards disagree. I know that you have training and stuff. I think it was his attitude, don't he?
Yeah, doctors don't ever sound like that slob.
Yeah, this just in. I just read the cards. I don't make up the questions from my own knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, maybe...
Sounds like a guy who makes his own honey.
It does. Zane has the Wikipedia.
But no bees are involved.
Yeah, it's not a honeycomb. It's his wife's comb.
Jesus. I'm glad the phones are working again. Free beer.
Me too. Yeah. People really. Well, it was only 2.5 hours ago that we asked for callers about whether or not women should be able to serve on the front lines, and now people are finally able to get to us.
And to be clear, that phone call by Levi the doctor, Steve points out, is a perfect example of, quote, you're stupid because you don't know everything I know phenomenon.
Yeah, those emails happen just about every segment of every day. And it's very strange. Do your research. Learn more about nerves before you do a pop culture trivia game for 18 minutes on a radio show. I will, thank you.
Yeah.
And Levi wasn't that bad, but that does happen. So he said, this is potpourri. You can talk about anything you wanted to in the last 2.5 hours.
Phones are working.
Yeah. Michael in Birmingham, listening on 103.1 The Vulcan. Hi, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Excellent, buddy. What do you think?
I think you should let them do it. I don't think you should lower the standards. I was in the military for 5 years, so if they want equal treatment, they need to be equal.
And we've gotten a lot of emails from women saying, yeah, that same thing, but don't lower the standards so that there's a woman who has less physical prowess on the front lines next to a man. Yeah, they don't want that.
And by the way, if I did 2 tours in Iraq. When you get over there for a year and a half, I don't care if she's dog-ass ugly. After about a year, she becomes the finest thing in the world.
I suspect so.
Yeah. All right. I don't.
Thank you, Michael.
Well, I think you're right. The training will make them very effective.
Yeah,
and they don't kill enemies with strength of punch. They kill enemies with the accuracy of their bullet.
Yeah. Yeah, physical is important, but there's a lot more that goes into it than just curls, so to speak. Kelly in Nashville. Kelly, welcome. It's potpourri time. What's on your mind?
Morning. Love the show, guys.
Thank you.
I was actually in the Marine Corps in a recon company, and I've actually been in the situation where women had to participate in firefights.
Yeah.
And
does happen.
I've seen some of the women, they actually outperformed some of the men that were there. And as long as you don't get an 18-year-old, 110-pound girl out there and she wants to complain about carrying a 70-pound, pack,
yeah,
let them join if they want. As long as, if they get, become a POW situation, as long as they don't understand, hey, they're going to the front of the line because they're a woman.
I'm guessing that superior officers and people who train wouldn't feel comfortable with a man or a woman who had physical limitations and would assign them accordingly. And if you had a woman or a man with the physical characteristics that you describe, they would do such, they would react accordingly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, if you can pass the physical requirements,
and you excel,
what's the problem?
and you're not slowing and putting everybody in harm's way.
Yeah, I don't think they should make it easier. Like, you don't have you don't have to do what a man does. You have to do it. You have to do 20% fewer push-ups or whatever. Well, then, okay, I don't think that's quite right. But Paul, you can do the job. You can do the job.
Paul, listening on the Buzz in Nashville. Paul, go ahead.
Yeah, hey guys, big fan of the show.
Thank you.
I was a veteran of Afghanistan infantry. And, my concern is when the bullets start flying, what are the females going to do? Are they going to cower down, or are they going to stand up and fight?
Couldn't you ask the same question about a lot of the men?
What takes place today that makes you think that that's how women are? It's just a stereotype.
I'm not saying that all women are incompetent, that they're not going to fight. But women are weaker-minded. So than a lot of men.
You're making a mistake
here. Now I'm gonna give you an example of where a woman, even without training, has an instinct to protect. Now, I mean, you can say they're weaker-minded, but I also think they have an instinct to protect. Because a lot of them do become mothers and stuff. Look at Newtown, the Sandy Hook shootings. That teacher, there's a nut job in there. And she's the first one out to confront him, to draw fire, to get other people out of that building.
Yeah,
that's
a woman.
Not to say that all women are weak, and not to say that they can't fight, and not to say that they won't protect.
But you did.
Well, you said women are weaker-minded.
You did, in fact, say that. Now, be a man and don't change your words. You think women are weaker-minded.
No,
and I think that's the most offensive thing.
But that's what you said.
You said it.
You said women are weaker-minded.
You chump. You did it.
We can play the tape back. No, if you'd like
say you're sorry right now.
To what?
To every woman that you pissed off and man.
No.
You're a disaster. Unbelievable. Unacceptable.
Let's go to another informed man. Brandon in Green Bay. Brandon, welcome. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Love the show.
Thanks, man.
Women have to bathe at least once a week. And in Afghanistan or wherever people are.
Wait a minute. Time out. What? What did you say?
Wait, they have to bathe at least once a week. Now, is that scientific fact?
What
is that written in almanac
talking
somewhere?
about? What does that have to do with anything?
Longer without cleaning for health reasons, because women can get infections and things that men cannot.
What do you...
Now, wait a minute. Don't hang up on him. I want to know about this guy's background in female anatomy.
Yeah. Explain that.
Explain to me your background in women's anatomy.
Look, what are you basing your statement on? What sort of knowledge base?
Well, one of the big reasons that I see women can be overseas or on the front lines is because missions can take, like I said, sometimes weeks, and
I know what you're saying.
Need to be
you are implying that their vaginas will be not clean,
Correct.
Right?
Because
so,
that is what you just said on the radio.
You're insinuating that if they don't continually clean their innards, it will somehow turn into a bread factory or attract seagulls and rat everyone out.
Right.
I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here. But I don't think what's held the U.S.'s decision to make this possible all these years has been dirty vagina.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that has not factored in at any one point.
Yeah. You do realize that there probably are still, to this day, many parts of the world where women, in fact, do not get to bathe once a week.
And besides,
Brandon, when they were doing like the Oregon Trail era, and families were moving from Pennsylvania to California to search for whatever, do you think the women stopped at nice medicinal showers along the way while the men did nothing?
Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah.
It seemed to fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You got to listen to Tyra once in a while. You know that thing is a self-cleaning oven?
It is, man.
You can leave it alone pretty much.
Besides, they could just bust out in the rations. There's that handy wipe. They could just do a quick swab and they're done. If that were a problem.
Yeah.
But it's not.
No,
Who cares?
It's not.
And it's not like they're out fighting for 1 week solid with no chance of ever getting back to the base. Tell me more about how we fight.
Yeah, that
you fool.
That type of battle scenario I don't think is that common anymore, where an operation may take weeks on end where they have no contact with home base.
Or we're going to fight like in that scene in Saving Private Ryan where they're defending the bridge and wait there for 1 week for the Panzer unit to show up. Just go out and fight, and we'll see you in a week.
Going back to where this segment started with Levi questioning our Dumber Than Zane trivia question, the alleged doctor, anonymous emails from people who work at the same hospital saying, he's not a real doctor, he's just a resident, don't know if he has a chance.
Not a real doctor.
Oh,
Levi.
Levi, your
listen,
residency needs to last a couple years longer.
Yeah, let me say this. If you're anybody listening who happens to be where the hospital that he identified on the radio, and you happen to see Dr. Levi for whatever it is you're there for, run. Say, get away from me, pasty maker. I am going elsewhere. And get the hell out of there. Go to the walk-in. Do whatever you have to do. Don't be attended to by Levi, the idiot, the stupidest doctor in America.
A lot of people really didn't like the quote, women are a lot weaker-minded.
Oh
Surprisingly,
can you believe
that has showed up in a few.
Yeah.
People are more forgiving of Brandon's lack of knowledge related to the vagina than they are with the guy who said women are weak-minded.
We take 3 calls. One is a doctor who is a moron. And the second one is weak-minded women. Dr. Stupid is right. And then weak-minded women was the quote. And then another guy said they can't fight because their vaginas will get too dirty. That's what we got here when we opened up the phones.
And they weren't said to be comical.
No, they were serious. If we would have went, I know, they would have talked more. This is unbelievable.
Yeah,
what a despicable, vile bunch of miscreants.
Is this what happens when we get everybody phone pent up for a whole morning?
What a bunch of filthy, disgusting pigs.
Their minds get to froth and bubble over with all their good ideas.
They're all stupid men.
Nathan writes, hey guys, can you make your phones broke again?
No doubt. I am ashamed of my penis.
Unhook those things.
This is incredible.
Up next, what do genetic traits reveal about health? I'll tell you the traits that we have a discussion for. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Red hair.
Oh, wow. This is key because my wife is a redhead, as you know.
Finger size. Left-handedness, if that's a way of saying it. Short people.
My wife's short, too.
Looking old.
Not bad.
Another one about finger length. Short arms. If you're a lady with short arms.
Oh, no. I always hate that.
That's the worst.
It's always a bummer when they have weird dumpy legs and short arms.
Up hot T-Rexes?
Yeah, when the proportions are all screwy.
Just see if there's a website, sexytrex.com.
God, man. It's like
featuring hot women with short arms.
It's like their body was thinking about making a birth defect and then bailed at the last minute.
Yep. When they're 5'5" and under a 6-foot rim and still can't touch it.
Just these crazy tractor-ass dumpy legs.
If you lack a sense of smell.
If you can't smell things.
If you have a genetically based big belly. These are all things that we will discuss that reveal traits about your life that you may want to be concerned about.
We'll find out about your terrible...
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Well, this is from healthyliving.msn.com. What do genetic traits reveal about your health? Now, obviously, some of these won't apply to you. Some of them will. From hair color to arm length and earlobes, genetic traits may help predict the risk of certain health issues. Keep in mind, however, that one does not necessarily lead to the other, reminds a cardiologist at Wake Heart and Vascular Associates in Raleigh, North Carolina. Many of these studies are not cause and effect, but association.
They're all cause and hilarity.
An earlobe crease causes heart disease. Your genetics are your genetics, but you can modify everything else.
So they're saying typically a person with this experiences this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So wouldn't cause it, but it may be like a marker that you're going to experience it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Redheads. There's no way you could guess this.
Yeah.
Joe?
Oh, well, clearly they're most likely not to go to heaven.
Because of the lack of souls, you're suggesting.
Yeah. Or to show up well on film.
Yeah. Cue the email from the grandmother flipping through the stage.
My grandson's redhead. You said he doesn't have a soul.
Not your specific grandmother.
Sacrifice him now.
Yep.
Redheads feel more pain, according to this.
I'll say.
A study published in the...
Too big.
And it's little.
Some studies suggest that redheads may be more sensitive to thermal pain and potentially more resistant to the effect of subcutaneous anesthetics, such as when the dentist numbs you up. Redheads are more likely to feel pain. So, I guess if you're a redhead, you can complain more, and it's justified.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything about redheads don't get Twitter? Redheads have a harder time using their iPhone appropriately, have a tendency to play games on iPhones way too much.
Finger size relates to verbal aggression.
Okay.
If you fly off the handle easily, check your fingers. Here's what it says. The ratio of relative finger length may indicate a greater tendency for verbal aggression in adults, according to new research published in October of 2012. Now, this is a little confusing. The length of the index finger, the ratio of the index finger to the length of the ring finger, they compared them for more than 600 volunteers. The smaller the ratio, they reported more verbal aggression behaviors than those with higher ratios.
So what is it again? How's it go?
Okay. Index finger to ring finger ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, this is a baffling one to me because it depends on which hand I use. Because on my left hand, my index finger and my ring finger are exactly the same length. On my right hand, my index finger is about 3/4 of an inch shorter.
I am like you, but opposite, man. That is crazy.
Because how different mine are.
Yeah, I see it. Look at that. But I'm even worse because on this one, my index finger, on my left, my index finger is shorter than the ring finger. But on this one, my index finger is slightly longer than the ring finger. You believe that? Look at.
So you and I are a little bit similar in how it goes.
In terms of
the difference from one hand to the other.
Yeah, Joe. This is my wiping finger. This one right here is longer than the ring finger on the right hand. So on the left hand, which is the stroking hand.
Yeah. Can you see the difference in mine, Joe?
Jeez.
All right. So what's up with that? What does that mean?
When they say the ratio, those with a smaller of the index finger to the ring finger, that would mean, if they say smaller ratio, that would mean they are closer
in size.
Are more likely to rage out.
Okay.
Well, based on that, you guys are undetermined. But as you can see with mine, there is a chance I could go bonkers in any second.
Oh, yours are
because I have a 1-to-1 ratio.
Yes. Yep. They're both exactly the same length.
Oh.
Yeah, mine, I guess it depends on the moment.
I don't like talking about my fingers!
I don't like that.
Can you imagine if that was
I'm
real?
so angry.
The difference relates to the exposure and receptivity of the fetus to testosterone in the womb. The amount of variation is so small to hundreds of decimal places in millimeters that it's really difficult to just look at someone's hands and predict who's going to be aggressive and who
That's not
is
true.
not.
We just did it.
Yeah, we just did.
It's easy. Doctors are stupid.
Yep. We looked at your fingers. We looked at the hints and clues we've had over the years, and it's all academic now.
Yeah, we had it confirmed by our sciatic nerve expert.
Dr. Stupid Levi, worst doctor in the history of America.
How about this? Lefties. Lefties may be more prone to
getting beaten up.
No. Anxiety. If you write with your left hand, you may be more prone to anxiety than people who write with their right-handed. Handedness gives clues.
Wait, say it in English, please.
You said right for both of those parts of the sentence.
Then you said handedness when you didn't need to.
Yeah.
No, handedness is what they write.
Oh, okay.
If you write with your left hand, you may be more prone to anxiety than some of your right-handed friends.
Okay.
Handedness gives clues to the way the brain is wired. It says there's evidence that people who make greater use of both hands as opposed to dominantly using a single hand all the time experience greater interaction or crosstalk between the left and right hemispheres of the brain.
I see. Well, I throw left-handed, but I write right-handed.
And we just learned that you treat yourself like an amusement park left-handed.
Yeah, but not all the time.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe you have good match between your hemispheres.
So you have a switch hitter on that deal.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta. You have to.
Sometimes he's both.
Give one a break.
Take a break.
Man. I always bat the same.
Okay, good. All right.
Well, you should try the other way. You'd be amazed at how it feels.
It's no good.
It's going to be an old-fashioned father-son beat-off.
Shorter people may live longer.
They may, huh?
That's what it says. There's research, worldwide research. Summarized the findings of 25 years. Extensive data taken from studies show that people with smaller bodies often live longer and have delayed onset of chronic diseases.
Well, it's like when you buy a big dog. Like when there's always a neighborhood guy who buys a bull mastiff puppy.
Yeah.
How long does this dog live? Oh, about 3 months.
Yeah. Buy a small bag of food. That's all you'll need.
A month later, its face is white and it can't move, and it just lays there and craps.
But at some point, there's got to be a turnover to that ratio where now you're just too short and you're not going to live as long. Yeah, I mean, it seems like, how many 100-year-old 3-foot people do you see?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
well, it's because no one wants them around. And there's a conspiracy. They're just killed.
I guess.
Mitch joins us. Hello, Mitch.
Hey, how are you?
Good. What do you know?
Listening to you guys about the redhead thing. A couple years ago, that show Mythbusters.
Yeah.
They actually did a study to see whether redheads were more tolerant of pain, and they used a thermal test. Actually, they used an ice bath to see who could stand it the longest.
Mm-hmm.
It turned out women were more
tolerant of pain, and redheads actually were more tolerant of pain.
Okay.
Well, that's opposite of what this says.
Yeah.
They sense more pain.
Okay. Yeah, but it was those annoying Mythbuster guys, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, and then they made a machine out of duct tape and
wore silly clothes,
bad dummy,
bad facial hair, and realized the whole thing was
told bad jokes.
Jumped the shark.
Are you a lady with short arms?
Oh God, stay away if you are. See him coming a mile away.
Yeah,
don't look at her.
You have a hard time hooking your own bra because your arms are so short.
It says women with short arms, and then they qualify it as less than 60 inches across when held parallel to the ground. So if your wingspan is less than 60 inches, and you're a lady,
okay,
you are 1.5 times more likely to develop Alzheimer's disease than women with longer reaches.
Well, but what if you're only like 4'10"?
It does not take that into account, it says. That doesn't seem fair.
So if your arms are proportionate, you may still be screwed.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking like T-Rex ladies, which are fairly infrequent.
Yeah, because, my wife is just over 5 foot. I mean, she's basically 5 feet tall.
Yeah,
so I assume her wingspan is, in fact, right around 60 inches. Usually your wingspan is about the same as your height.
Yeah, if she doesn't have a Matumbo-esque wingspan, she might be in trouble for Alzheimer's.
So,
Mine too.
Lack of sense of smell? That could be a sign that you are more likely to develop early onset Parkinson's disease. Is it true that if you can't smell, you can't taste?
I think your taste is diminished, yeah.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
Yeah. Well,
how
I can smell everything.
Get good at scat.
I can smell.
Yeah. Yeah, you would. It'd be easier.
I smell mold.
Yeah,
badly. I'm a big mold smeller. No one else can smell it.
Yeah, here's what Hot Wings thinks.
Usually.
Hot Wings. What Hot Wings thinks.
Free beer, Zane, and listeners. Now, a few months ago, you'll probably remember that New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg decided to make a law forbidding the sale of soft drinks bigger than 16 ounces in an attempt to curb obesity. Now, I'm not sure that's going to do any good, but whatever. It's set to come up right around March, I think, is when that law is going to take effect. Now, I don't think it'll diminish or ease the rising rate of obesity one iota, personally, but at least he's trying, I guess. Now, since we have a serious obesity problem here in America, I mean, everyone knows that, the obesity rates are high for all groups, but they are really high amongst blacks and Latinos. So why are the NAACP and the Hispanic Federation fighting the mayor's impending rule by joining the lawsuit filed by the American Beverage Association to stop it? Their argument is that the law will hurt minority business owners. Really? More than white business owners? I mean, if the playing field is equal for everyone, wouldn't everyone be affected the same? Now, maybe that's too simplistic. Maybe I'm ill-informed. In fact, I most certainly am. However, as our friend Bishop is prone to saying, I find it interesting that the NAACP received a $100,000 donation from Coca-Cola last month.
What?
Last February, former Hispanic Federation President Lilian Rodriguez-Lopez left for a job at Coca-Cola.
Uh-oh. Follow the money!
And now they've both joined the lawsuit. Weird. I mean, you would think that if the community you represent is having an obesity crisis, you might get behind any type of plan to help. Nope. I always find it a sad day when an advocacy group gets too big and ultimately becomes beholden to the man. Because to me, that's exactly what's going on here. I have no problem with the NAACP trying to actually pursue the advancement of African Americans, since, that's kind of their purpose. There are a lot of organizations representing different groups hoping to get another foot forward, and that's great. The problem is that I have with these jerks is that they're not advancing anything except the lining of their own pockets with the money of big business. Way to sell out your entire race in order to placate your big business donors. Just like every organization that once had a strong presence in actually helping to advance or protect a group of people, these guys have long overstayed their welcome. It's time for them to be shunned and for somebody else to step to the forefront that actually cares at a grassroots level. Because these people don't. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com. The Free Beer and Hot Wings Show presents not-so-great moments in Super Bowl history. Super Bowl 23. Cincinnati Bengal crackface Stanley Wilson goes on a bender the night before the game with the 49ers. It's his third offense, and he's banned from the league. Now, back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Today's the day we come up with new ones. New ones of those.
Next week at this time, we'll be wrapping up our first of 2 shows from Radio Row in New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
The difficulty is suppressing the laughter as we're making fun of someone who's 1 foot away, who may be famous.
And the glances.
Oh my
The glances are very telling.
Boy, is that fun.
The only,
oh my gosh.
There's no speakers that are broadcasting out what we're doing. It's only in our headphones. Mm-hmm. So we'll be seated right next to Steve Young or Bonnie Bernstein. We'll make a dumb joke about them. They're right next to us.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe the joke last year about Bonnie Bernstein was, hey, is she here promoting rhinoplasty?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Everybody was pitching something.
Everybody looks a little bit different in real life.
Boy, do they.
We noticed that Bonnie Bernstein in real life has a better butt than any of us could have expected and a much larger nose than it seems.
Well, you can tell she's a former gymnast.
Yeah.
She walked in, the whole room was filled with nose, and then a minute later she walked in.
There's some breaking news related to Manti Te'o. Breaking news may be a little strong, but it is a new wrinkle.
It's breaking interest.
His interview with Katie Couric will air today, but it was already recorded.
Yeah.
A lawyer for Renaya Tuiasosopo,
the guy who did the catfish,
yes, has spoken with the New York Daily News, and he says that all of the phone calls that Te'o had. Now, bear in mind, Te'o's official story is, and I think most people believe this at this point, that he was duped.
Yeah.
And he did all of these phone calls. His camp just provided what they say was evidence of the phone records of his conversations with this woman that he believed to be Lene Kakua for all that time.
Though it still seems cloudy at best.
Because they released a spreadsheet with the data, not the actual phone records. That's weird.
Very hazy.
Well, this makes him seem even more stupid because the lawyer for Renaya Tuiasosopo told the New York Daily News that it was his client disguising his voice the entire time on the phone. That's right. For all that time, he was in love with a woman he had never met. He was talking to a man going, "Hi, Manti!
Oh.
Ha-ha! Oh,
okay.
You're a good linebacker. You should tackle a quarterback." I'm sure it was not quite as stupid as that.
It was.
But come on, man. This doesn't help you.
We got to go. They should say, all right, Katie Couric should go, okay, why don't we just cut to the chase here, and you take the Wonderlic test now on TV.
Yeah.
We're not even going to ask you any questions. No one believes you anyway. Just sit here, pick up this pencil, and do the Wonderlic right now, and we will grade it right now. And I will bet $1 million. The over-under on you is 1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is. Let's assume that his story is right. He was duped. That's actually exponentially more embarrassing that you were talking to a man, because until now, I think most people had assumed that this guy would put a woman up to talking. He had an accomplice of some sort.
Exactly.
The lawyer says that it was just someone who had a troubled existence trying to have a relationship of some sort with someone else.
So the lawyer is not saying Manti did it, the whole, I was.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah, he's sticking to the Te'o was duped story.
That's Tuiasosopo's lawyer.
Yeah.
Saying that.
Yeah.
The guy who perpetuated this whole thing.
Okay. How about that? So today Tuiasosopo is now thinking, okay, the whole world knows I spoke to a guy I had never met for a year and I called him my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And to what end?
Boy, this is just stupid for everyone involved.
Yeah.
And this happens more than we know, as evidence on that show, Catfish.
Yeah, the fact that show exists. Steve, what did you learn today?
I learned that Joe is a member of the Penis of the Month Club and gets a free plaster cast each month.
Joe.
It's true. I learned that women can't join men in combat because their pork pouch will spoil.
Eric Zane.
I learned that Pat Robertson does not like ugly women.
That's
so
true.
he says.
Hot Wings?
I learned that I never appreciate it when our phones are broken until we get them fixed.
I learned that if a girl eats a fillet of fish with her second mouth, that could be a real problem. Thank you, Seamus. That is it for today.
Oh, man.